Microphone's on, we know. All right, let's not hold it up any further. Empty technology. I am Mokar. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to season 2 of PodroomTV. The microphones aren't even on, so you might be hearing us, you might not be. No doubt Tony Grgic will send us through something to tell us to know how it's all going. Hopefully you can hear us clearly. Even the slicker is relatively poor from what I can see on my stream. But Spolge, welcome back, man. Yeah, well, 7:53, we had Richie Plesher, our special guest, first up on at 7:30, and he's still patiently waiting. So we'll get to you, mate, in a very, very short time. But
just give us a few minutes. But welcome, everyone. Thank you for staying patient and being with us. I think you all missed out on some of the colourful language that was happening in here in the last 20 or so.
Richie, I think Mr. Plesher would have heard it in the background.
I hope he heard it. At least he would have been entertained. But welcome back. Like after such a long time, but it feels like we're here yesterday. You know what? The Renaissance continues, ladies and gentlemen. What a whirlwind number of months it's been. The Christmas party was on the 22nd of December. Safe to say, I think it was a pretty successful night. We're still recovering after 3 months.
Exactly.
But incredible times. I think we're all a bit frazzled by the last 25 minutes of what's happened here. But I hope you can all hear us. If you can't, let us know. I can see we're on YouTube at the moment.
There is some sound of the music coming through. But I think we'll get into what we're going to talk about after our first interview, because we don't want to really keep him hanging on too much longer. We'll get into all the nitty-gritty of everything else that we've written down and prepared in about 5 minutes.
Well, due to that delay, we'll be here till about 12:30 at the very least. So we've got plenty of time to talk about all these other things. And just so we're not unhospitable or inhospitable, maybe we should welcome our first guest to the show.
So tonight from Hurstville, Zagreb, and many of you may also know him from his time at Sydney, Croatia, Sydney United, Richie Plesher. I'll just chuck him up on the screen. I think he's patiently there waiting for us. There he is. We got you, mate.
How are you, gentlemen?
First guest of 2020. I was going to say 26. Welcome to PodroomTV, episode 2.1. Is that right?
It would be, 2.1. I think it's version 2.1.
It's episode 22, I think.
But with us, as you can see on the screen, Richard Plesher, fantastic footballer, fantastic community person, involved heavily at Hurstville Zagreb FC, who this year find themselves in their highest ever placement, I guess, when we're talking about league.
In the history.
In the history of the club.
Yep.
And also, in recent weeks, have also held a very, very successful 5-side tournament there, the Keshovich Cup. But Richard, welcome. Thanks for joining us, mate. So we really wanted to have a chat to you tonight about all things Zagreb and all things Keshovich Cup and how that all went and progressed and what kind of a day was it. Obviously, we saw it on social media and bits and bobs, but getting it from yourself.
Yeah, hello, gentlemen. How are you? Thank you for the invitation. Great to be on your show. I watch you guys, and it's a good show. You're doing a good job. But starting with Keshovich Cup. It's a big thing on our calendar every year. It's been going for just under 30 years. This year was the anniversary of Martin's passing, the 30 years. So Martin passed in '96. So this 6-a-side tournament's been going for 28, 29 years now. It's in honor of his name, and it just keeps getting bigger and better. And we've had it a few places around Sydney, but this year we brought it back home to Cast Park. So it was a great day, awesome day.
You can tell us a bit about Martin Keshovich and his involvement at the club and how this cup actually came to be named after him.
Yeah, well, Martin was a Zagreb junior, so obviously he passed 30 years ago. So he was let's just say 21, 22 when he passed. So he played all his junior football at Hurstville Zagreb, and his family were heavily involved with the club. So after his sudden passing, it was a shock to everyone, as you could imagine. And then the club took it on themselves to name a 6-a-side tournament in his name, and it's still going strong.
That's fantastic. How many teams were there at the tourney all up?
Just under 40. We had
40 teams.
We had 20 all age men's team, the opens, which is the main comp, and then you got the veterani 45s, the over 35s, and you got the women's. So yeah, just under 40 teams. It was fantastic turnout.
There you go. And PodroomTV was represented there in the NK. I think it was Podroom boys, the Greystanes boys there had us displayed on the back of their jerseys.
And they looked resplendent.
They did. So it was an absolute travesty they didn't win.
It was.
So could have got a bit more exposure on the jerseys, but they look like an absolutely great day, and it's a great initiative recognising, one of your own, but the thing I see with Zagreb is a lot of, or at least from the outside looking in, a lot of ex-players, players that went on and played NSL or played overseas and whatever, Socceroos, etc., are still somewhat involved in the club or have come back to the club and help out in ways. I know Keshovich is a Hurstville boy. Even today, I think I saw Denny Juric. Is it Denny Juric who's been selected to play for Australia? Also, ex-Hurstville Zagreb boy playing overseas. Not sure if he's in Slovenia still or where he's playing, but that's another feather in the cap. But a lot of involvement of ex-players at the club, which is great to see. Would that be about right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yes. First of all, congratulations to Denny. He is a Zagreb player, and he's made Popper's Socceroos squad, which is fantastic. And yeah, as you said, a lot of great players from in Australian football have come from our club, and some are still involved. Like you said, Ante Trovic is involved heavily in our committee and decisions that we make regarding the club in the association side of the club and the local football. And obviously, and Joe Vidikic as well, my call. We played together at City United, and he's coaching the under 15s at the NPL level. So yeah, there's a few boys still involved, and putting back into the club.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I saw even Sydney United recently had a kind of a legends gathering where some players came out onto the pitch. Were you in amongst?
Yeah, yeah. I went there that day. That was a fantastic initiative, and a lot of the old boys turned up from the 70s, 80s, and us boys from the 90s and 2000s. So there was a good number of us that showed up. The City United looked after us that day. They gave us a nice City United scarf, and they looked after us in the Club 5000, gave us some food and drink, and we watched the boys get a win in round one, which was fantastic.
Yeah, and 7 rounds later, they're still
7 straight.
And they're still going. 21 points from 7 games, 5 points clear of St George already.
Is that some sort of record?
Actually, I think it is. To start off the season with that many wins, I think it is. To be honest, I think I saw something today about that. The best start to the season ever, I think.
But what a huge turnaround from the Australia Cup. The Australia Cup was probably best not to be spoken about, and the whole event. But now coming back is just reignited, and there's been a bit of a renaissance there at Sydney United. It looks as well, because the crowds have come back. It looks like everyone's keen. The football's on fire. Great to see there for the community.
No, absolutely it is. It is. That can only the boys keep winning. That can only bring the crowds back, and it's United as a club that should be up the top of the table. So wishing the boys all the best for the rest of the season. Hopefully they keep winning and stay up there at the business end of the season.
Yeah, but you're going to have a run when the tournament, eventually we find out where the tournament is being held toward the end of the year. Will you be having a run in the 45s at Hurstville? Because I don't think I've come up against you yet.
Yeah, I haven't played in a couple of years actually. It's been about 3-4 years since I've had a run, but it's always a possibility maybe to have a run in the 45s. You never know. Never know when we come up against each other.
We'll see you in the final, mate. Our next guest is Ante Stippa from Strathmore Split, who coaches, captains our 45. So maybe me and Ante will see you in the final this year, mate, like we did a few years ago in Adelaide.
And he's still an Adonis like yourself.
But also, I see that you're very, very much a Cronulla Sharks fan.
I am definitely. I
love the NRL. And if there's anyone I see who loves wearing club merchandise more than me, it'll be you, right? So you're always in a Hurstville top, tracksuit, jumper, whatever it might be. And on the flip side, if you're not in Hurstville, you're in a Cronulla Sharks jumper, singlet, t-shirt, and you're at a game on a Friday night. They're having a couple of drinks with the boys. So you always love the NRL, or is it something because I
have, yeah. Like as a kid growing up in Sydney, we all loved our footy, and Cronulla Sharks is the team that I picked as a youngster, and I didn't really go too many games when I was younger. But as I got older, a couple of mates got together. That's my call supports them as well, and we got to started going to the games, and now we 10, 15 years down the track, we're still going to most home games and having a good time. So
can I ask why you chose Cronulla Sharks?
What's that?
Can I ask why you chose Cronulla?
Yeah, I don't know. As a kid, I just chose them and I just went with them. Like I grew up in the St. George area, so I should have probably gone for St. George, but it didn't work out that way, and I picked the Sharks, and it's still stayed that way.
Well, I was suspecting it was going to be the same answer as Pokwini Mario Yuka. We asked, he was a big Cronulla Sharks fan. We asked him why it was. He goes, because the name starts with Crow. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, I thought maybe growing up in the NSL, you just loved riots. So that's why you chose Cronulla as well. So there's a bit of a link there. But
that's been and gone, mate.
Yeah, but did you play any of this at a youth level all the way through representative for Australia? 17s, Joey's, Olympic teams, and all those things. Were you ever selected yourself?
I did play in the young Socceroo team, the World Cup in 1995 in Qatar. Yeah, so that was a great experience.
Now, without trying to get a controversial snippet or a statement, the obvious controversy now around young Adrian Segicic choosing Croatia over Australia, and on the flip side, Ante Šuto choosing Australia over Croatia. But there's been a lot of controversy. Popper, who also probably ex-teammate of yours, has been in the papers, obviously defending his decision at the particular time, and the young boys come out and said, I'll be now taking Croatian citizenship and playing for Croatia if he gets selected. Obviously, he has been selected in the younger. How do you see it from your perspective? You know what I mean? Like, let's say 1994 or something, you get a phone call from the Hrvatski Nogometni Savez and say, look, Mr. Plesher, we'd like to have you on our books, and would you consider playing for our youth teams? What would be the mindset of someone that's played at your level of how do you toss that up? How do you make that decision?
Yeah, it is a tough one. We're Australians. We as Papa said the other day, all we wanted to do was play for the Socceroos and play for Australia. And when that chance came, and you took it with both hands, it was a great honour to play for Australia. But then on the flip side, it didn't happen to me, obviously, but if someone like Croatia called you, you'd have to think about it, because obviously maybe Adrian thought he'd be selected more so in the Socceroos than he has been, and maybe he thinks he's not getting a fair go. That's his prerogative. So and then if someone like Croatia comes knocking you, I dare say you'd have to think about it, and it's happened before, from Aussies going to Croatia, as we know, Joe and Ante and Dilica and a few of the others that have done it. So it's a tough one. We love Australia, obviously, and we love Croatia as well, and that's our parents' homeland. So it's a tough one. But as my personal experience, when I got called to play for Australia, I couldn't wait. It was a fantastic honour. So yeah, it's a tough one.
With Zagreb, what's coming up in the short term? You got any kind of other big events, or when's the next maybe game or home game that you might have coming up for the seniors there, or the first grade, as you call it up there in New South Wales?
First grade, they're playing week in, week out. At the start of the season, they had a couple of wins, and then they had a bit of a slump, and then on the weekend they won. But on our side of the club, the association side of the club, the kids are still in pre-season, and we had a little gala day yesterday, and had a couple of teams from our mates, Warrington, Croatia. They brought a kids team and an all-age team, and then our kids played against each other just to have a bit of a pre-season training games and stuff, and had a bit of a picnic, a few chihuahua rolls, a few drinks, and it was a good community day, just like the Martin Keshovich Cup was, but just on a smaller scale. But yeah, our all-age and our seniors start their season this weekend. And all our kids, association kids, start the season just after Easter. So busy times ahead for us.
That's it. It's all hands on deck and non-stop. You're probably on the go all the time, yes, and not just down around the club, but even when you're away from the club, it's probably always there's something happening in the background, emails, texts, phone calls coming through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, it must have been quite an honour representing the green and gold and definitely played for Sydney United, especially in those halcyon days when Sydney United was such a force in the NSL. But surely your biggest achievement or biggest honour is having a bitch slap named after yourself, the Richard Plesker.
It's in the vocabulary here in at least Victoria. At least I'm not sure up in New South Wales when you want to give someone a little bit of a slap across the chops. You know, when you go to the toilet, you go to do a Josip Piskic. And when you want to give someone a bit of a slap, you give them a Richie Plesker. So, it's very much in our vocabulary.
First I've heard of that, but yeah, you go with it, mate. It's all good.
I really, mate, it's a Victorian thing.
Maybe it's just us here in Melbourne. Maybe we use that one, but we've been using that one for years. Got to give some bloke a Richie Plesker.
So we appreciate you, Northerners, more than you do yourselves. There you go.
Fantastic. But mate, all the very best to you. Thank you so much for joining us. All the very best this year for Zagreb again, for just keep going on, leaps and bounds. It's absolutely fantastic. I've got a real soft spot for Zagreb, even though in the past, at a few of these gala events, I may have had a bit of stick and maybe a bit of banter between the two, but I love the club very much, and I'm like you. I love wearing my Zagreb paraphernalia around the place.
Arguably the best kids.
The Marko Šušić designed T-shirts and everything else. Stickers, I've got them all over my fridge and all over the house, and the kids have got them all over their rooms. So you guys are doing fantastic work up there. Thank you for joining us, and for all those younger ones that are out in the audience that didn't know too much about what we used to watch in the old days, the NSL. They're not so much old. I don't think we're that old. But just to get a feel of some of the people and some of the characters that not only that were a part of our youth, but are still a part of the community, moulding that next generation and getting them through and hopefully getting to that success that yourself have had and a lot of people that have come through Zagreb. Was Mili Edinak a Zagreb boy as well?
No, he was Mili was a Sydney United junior all the way through.
Yeah, but it is testament to the club that people like yourself are still there after so many years. You see ex-players that are just absent from clubs, club legends that no one's seen for decades, or years at the very least. But people like yourself being at the club is testament and highlights just how special that place is. That a player that
definitely is. It's a special community we've got at Hurstville. It's an honour to put back into the game, and there's so many good people. So many good people involved around our community, and it's up to us to keep it going. It's our fathers that started the club back in 1970. That generation started the club, and now it's up to us to keep it going for our kids and the future generations. So
exactly.
And just as a general question as well, is how do you feel the community's faring up there in Sydney and Hurstville, and is it getting stronger? Is it in a good place? How do you
I think it's fantastic. Like the clubs here, like ourselves, Sydney United Juniors in Warrington, we try to get the kids together like at pre-season or at the end of the season as much as possible. It's important that the kids meet each other and play against each other. But yeah, the community vibe's great. The young ones are awesome. They get behind their Croatian heritage and they love it and they want to continue it just like we did. So I think it's in a good spot, definitely. Our community.
Fantastic. No worries, mate. Thank you very much. And now you do know that the name that we use for a slap down here is named after you, mate. Not quite Plesker, but Plesker.
It is, but it's a different. It's
exactly right, but it's a mark of respect.
Yeah,
we've been using that one for years.
So all of you in Sydney, there you go. There's one you can use.
Exactly.
There's one for the vernacular.
Oh, awesome.
No worries, mate. All the very best. Thank you so much for joining us, mate. And we look forward to following Zagreb this year and see their results and how they go at that level now that they have really stepped up. And it looks like you guys are doing great things, and it's fantastic to have you on.
Thank you very much, guys. Love your work. Thank you.
All the best, brother.
Cheers, thank you.
There you go, Richard Plesker, former young Socceroo, Sydney United legend, and a man who sits in our vocabulary down here. Looks like only in Victoria, maybe in some of the other states, but New South Wales, even the great man himself. I wonder if Josip Piskic has heard about him. Next time I bump into him in the toilets at night, someone.
That'd be a good question. But I mean, the laptop here tonight, about half an hour ago, copped a few Richard pleasures itself. Trying to get it to work.
Oh, so once again, apologies for the earlier. Like, we've had technical difficulties in the past, usually self-inflicted because I haven't put the microphone off mute or whatever. But tonight it's all gone pear-shaped. We even had to go check old emails to see if our subscription for this restream service that we use had expired, that maybe we haven't paid the bill. All paid up till the 18th of June, 12 months since we paid for it. It's all flying, everything is going. The microphones aren't working, so the microphones we're currently using is probably just the ones off the laptop, and the camera is horrible. So what I might do after our next interview, just chuck on that intro that we got, the Thompson music, and I might swap the cameras over to see what on earth is going on.
In the meantime as well, but look, we're looking at it, and I looked, we're reflecting on last year, said, look, we'd come leaps and bounds, the show had grown so much. 2026 is going to be a huge year. No technical difficulties. It's going to be a professional thing. Maybe we've got to reevaluate the way we operate as compares.
I think we need to suited and booted. We need to get those guys.
But then I've really thought about it, and I go, Monica, but we've got to
back to the Stone Age.
Go back to the Stone Age and continue on. Like, so I had to take a bit of a pit stop. And you know what? And I did, and I bought the Zadar's Finest. I know I usually bring in the Budel,
Okay.
but I know it's.
I bought you a gift. You bought re-gifting.
We can share the gifts, but we can do that. I'm a son of Zadar now these days as well. So
that's exactly right.
We'll
but in the spirit, yes, we're such a jednu popit. We'll popit a jednu's young Adrian Segicic, who's made the choice to change allegiances, and as you can see, the Aussies have been calling us turncoats and all sorts of derogatory names online, saying that we've got no loyalty to this country and we're just shit. But you can heckle a prime minister in the middle of the mosque. You can burn Australian flags. You can fucking steal money from the government, do whatever else. Ali, we're governor because a young 20-something-year-old kid has chosen to play for the country of his parents' heritage or his own heritage. It's our heritage. It's not, it's my parents' country. No, it's our country as well. You know what I mean? Your genetics don't change. No. So good on the boy. He came here for 2 games. Right? I'll get your thoughts on it as well. He came here to play at Australia and New Zealand, didn't get 1 minute. It's not about not getting a run and getting upset and saying, I'm going to go somewhere else and play. I'm taking my bat and ball and I'm going. Cap him. If you think that he's in your future plans for this country, cap him. You watch, not even a third of the controversy will be around this Volpato, this Italian that's just chosen to play for Italy. He came out today, not definitive, but he said, I'm waiting. I'm going to play for Italy.
Christian Violi, even there, he got lit off.
He was great. He was a great guy. Manny Muscat, bought to Craig Hutchinson, who went to play for Malta, and his blokes playing all over them. Fucking Archie Thompson. No, what was his name? Tim Cahill played for Samoa before he played for Australia. But that's all right. He came and played for Australia. Segicic goes, dickhead. Šimunić does it, arsehole. That's right. No, that's the disrespect shown by the governing body to our Nardald in this country. If my kids ever got the chance to choose, if they ever got called up by Craig, they'd be gone in a heartbeat. They'd be, we love to play for Australia. We love this country. But like somebody put up today on one of these websites on Facebook comments, I support every national team in this country except for the Socceroos. You know what I mean? Like I got to that stage once with the cricket team when the fucking, what's his name? Michael Clark and those hacks were playing. I just stopped. I was barracking for Sri Lanka in the games. I couldn't give a shit. But again, the way that our community has been treated by footballing authorities in this country for many, many years is possibly also one of the reasons that people will choose their allegiances differently than somebody else. But again, to each their own. Some people are pro-tive, some people are for it. Good on him. Will he get a game? It's not the point.
No, it's not really. Yeah. If that's who he wants to play for.
Well, he's going to get a game for Australia.
I remember speaking to Aussie Joe Šimunić when he was still at the Knights down here, and that whole controversy happened at that time. And I asked him what, and at that time the likelihood of him playing for Croatia was, he wasn't like he's going to get a cap. He looked like he would never get a cap. No. Really, he was just here in Melbourne playing for the Knights. He was a kid, 18, 19 years of age or whatever he was, and he goes, I don't care. I don't care. That's who I'm going to play for. I'm a Croat. I'm going to play for them. I'm not going to play for a team. So let's not say the country. So let's play a soccer that isn't respected amongst the wider community. What for? That's one of my favourite things as well when they keep going, oh, we developed this player. What the fuck did you Trevor from Bacchus Marsh, do?
They were developed at our clubs And those clubs were trying to be buried by these arseholes.
Yeah.
But you developed it.
Yeah, that's
you
what
didn't
I'm saying.
develop
You developed.
squat.
Yeah.
David Hill all the way through. Even when the NSL finished, and when the A-League was created and the NSL clubs didn't go into the A-League, they tried to keep these clubs out of the NPL for 12 months, just so that they'll be extinguished. Koyebe, play for Crow. I hope they all do. This is Shorter now. It's gone the opposite way.
That's right.
I think he was born in
Shorter.
Yeah. He's chosen to play for Australia.
Yeah.
But he was born in Crow. There's no controversy there. Craig Johnson, remember what did he say about Australia?
Yeah. Surfing.
I'd rather get picked for surfing or something.
For England, I'd rather. It's like playing soccer for Australia is like surfing for England.
Yeah. But now he's like a legend. Craig Johnson, Liverpool. He was.
Frank Kadicic, who's now he's actually still doing well overseas in the Croatian league, still playing for Australia.
That's right.
No problem.
How many Crows born over there played for Australia? The Branko Milosevic's, the Billy Wojtek's. No problem there. The Ken Murphys and all these other Scots and Poms and that were natural.
Not 2006 World Cup had 8 Croats in that squad?
That's right. But so, this system here, they would rather naturalise a 40-year-old Uruguayan playing in the A-League than a kid that's 21, 22, the world ahead of him playing the championship in England at that age and doing really well. And I'd rather cap some Sulio he's already been at, I think he's 3 A-League clubs in like 6 months. I think he went to Victory when he had 40-something or scored a good name. They're capping him and giving him a go. And this kid flies halfway across the world, jeopardising his own career on the call of the coach and of the selectors and not even get a minute to be capped. Dovi Janja luck notch. I wouldn't have blinked.
That was barely on the fringes. It was actually barely on the fringes.
Whereas what they're saying in the Crow media is that they're looking at him as a potential, obviously when he moves from Portsmouth out of the championship, get some experience, maybe goes to better clubs, etc., as a replacement for a Perisic and Orsic, left-footed right winger, which Crow doesn't have many of at the moment. And they're obviously seen something that their people here in this country don't. So too bad. It's just sad that it's Crow coach on one side and the Crow kid on the other. It's in the media's playing out. These people that don't like us are loving that shit.
That's the whole thing. And I think that's the number one thing out of this. If it was any other nationality, I don't think he would get as much grief as what he's. Because I think most of the people who are spitting on him probably never even heard of him.
That's right.
So
no one loves his country more than Crows. No one. And they'll realise it one day. This country will realise it when it looks like it's already started, shit's hitting the fan. When the push comes to shove, you watch when they come to us and they say, we fucked it up. We need you to fix it because, you won't find more. My parents, too old. Crows, in their 80s now, mate, they love this country more than life itself. I think there's some things that...
Looks like it's already happening. The things already changed. Look at the A-League too. A-League's now sort of playing in the embers of its own fire that it uncreated. But they're seeing it's not working. I was never a Melbourne Victory fan or a City fan or anything. I couldn't look at those clubs because I witnessed the way it all happened and I witnessed the way we were sort of thrown by the wayside as a community. It wasn't just us, even the Greeks and everyone else that was involved in the NSL, as if the popularity of the football in this country was our fault, rather than the fact that we were actually keeping it up and actually making it to a certain standard and producing players that were, making historic runs in the 2006 World Cup, for example.
Exactly right.
But, that's the whole thing. And it's all turning around now. Things are changing. Government assistance for clubs has been non-existent for decades. Lately, things are changing because we've got some very savvy operators at soccer clubs, which we talked about last season or last year on a number of occasions, and that will continue. Now to spit on this kid because, as Richie Plesher said, that's his prerogative, who he wants to play for. Well, does it really bother you? Does it change your life? Do you want someone there that actually doesn't want to play for the team? Come on.
That's right. I think Adrian Segicic has given Football Australia Richie Plesker. Good on him, sucker chast. Anyway.
Yes, and as Joe Shimovic said, he didn't care if he never played for Croatia. That was his choice.
Exactly right.
We know he played quite a number of occasions. And the Minister of Defence, in fact.
Speaking of soccer, yesterday also the Dandy City Cup was held. So there was my daughter, a lot of clubs were out there. Yesterday and Saturday, actually. I think there was maybe the younger ones on Saturday. The older ones might have played yesterday. So massive event hosted by Dandy City out there. But I got a little bit of a clip from our old friend Anton Lovrick from Shearer's Cupboard.
Okay.
He sells vintage football jersey. You can find him on social media, etc., and you can see what he's got for sale. Plenty of Crow stuff.
Actually, I'll tell you a story about this Kiwi I met.
No?
So I was going through farmland. We played. Major, I went to Auckland not last year, I think the year before. We played down there for our good brothers and sisters over at the Auckland Croatian Club. And we're going through like farmlands there, and we're watching. They got a lot of sheep there in New Zealand. Hello to all of our New Zealand viewers. Probably more per capita than anywhere else in the world. And we're watching these guys and he's shearing his sheep. And go, what the hell's that going for? He go, hey mate, what are you doing? Shearing the sheep. He goes, mate, I'm not shearing him with anyone. Anyway, so
that's the
really,
shot. Yeah. So young Anton was out there at Dandy City with a display of many of his finest authentic jerseys. So what he sells is only authentic stuff. Like this one, not the copies, not the remakes, etc. It's the actual original stuff. And he sent through a couple of clips. And he was also at our PodroomTV Christmas special. He had his racks set up there as well and was doing a roaring trade.
Yeah.
We'll have a look at a quick clip there that Anton sent us through with his niece, or cousin, actually.
We're here at Dandy Cup, the Dandenong City's girls tournament. I'm here with little Marlo from Manningham under 12 girls. Tell us about your 3 games today.
The first game, we won 1-0 against Dandenong City. A second one was against Dynamo, St. Albans, and we won 1-0. And then the last game now, Caroline Springs, we won 2-0, so we're into the finals.
Into the finals. Did you score any goals?
No.
We've got no talent in this family. And show us your captain's armband as well. We might not be a goal-scoring family, but at least we've got leadership.
Okay. And a safety pin.
And a safety pin, just to make sure as well. Marlo, tell me, what's your favourite kids' jersey? Obviously, you were the model for some of these. Pick out your favourite. Show the camera. Inter Milan. Romelu Lukaku on the back. In his prime at Inter Milan as well. It's a nice shirt. Now that one fits you, but I'll give you a challenge. Find the biggest shirt in this collection here. One that would absolutely not fit you. That's a nice shirt. How big is it? What size is it?
2XL.
2XL? So I reckon you'll fit into that one day.
I reckon.
If you keep eating your chavapi rolls and burek, you might get there.
I might get it.
Young Gareth Bale in his first season as a senior player at Tottenham. It's been awesome. Thanks to everyone that did come down, bought a shirt, said hello, maybe told me about stories of their vintage jerseys. You ready to win the finals?
Yeah.
Good luck to all the girls for the tournament.
Kad zapievam partijami sudi, neka sudi, pjevat ćemo ljudi. Ne boj se rogova ni lažnih bogova, šta nam mogu lanjski snjegovi. Ne boj se tragova ričućih hlabova, šta će crni oblak planini. Kad zapjevam partijami sudi, neka sudi, pjevat ćemo ljudi. Ne boj se rogova ni lažnih bogova, šta nam mogu lanjski snjegovi. Ne boj se trago. Kad zapjevam partija mi sudi, neka sudi, pjevat ćemo ljudi. Ne boj se rogova ni lažnih bogova, šta nam mogu lanjski snjegovi. Ne boj se tragova ričućih labova, šta će crni oblak planini. Kad zapjevam partija mi sudi, neka sudi, pjevat ćemo ljudi. Ne boj se rogova ni lažnih bogova, šta nam mogu lanjski snjegovi. Ne boj se tragova ričućih labova, šta će crni oblak planini. Kad zapjevam partija mi sudi, neka sudi, pjevat ćemo ljudi. Ne boj se rogova ni lažnih bogova, šta nam mogu lanjski snjegovi. Ne boj se tragova ričućih labova, šta će crni oblak planini. Kad zapjevam partija mi sudi, neka sudi, pjevat ćemo ljudi. Ne boj se rogova ni lažnih bogova, šta nam mogu lanjski snjegovi. Ne boj se tragova
Here we go. I think we're cooking. Spolge.
Are we?
And the vision is better. The new camera, new me, new year.
Oh, it's a bit far away.
Doesn't matter. Well, you move it, you bring it, go. Can you hear us now? Where did I leave my phone now? I was using that to light up under the house. Oh, it's živi, ljudi moji.
Is that right?
Yeah, it'll do. A little crooked, but that's all right. Not sure. How's that going, guys? Is that better now? We're hoping that the vision is now better. And technology.
Technologia.
Oh, good. But there is a bit of a glitching happening here. So every time, look, max headroom.
But welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, what I'll do. Well, there must be some serious technical issues. That's serious.
That's serious, yes.
Polluted.
The very serious.
Polluted. But other news, 6 teams, all the MPL teams.
Yes.
I saw it, it came up today. Yes, I'm assuming that's Sydney United, Gold Coast, Glenorchy, Dinamo, Dandy, etc. No losses. No losses from any of the leading MPL teams in the country amongst the Crow teams, which is pretty damn good. I was out at Melbourne Knights Bulleen on Saturday night and Dinamo Heidelberg yesterday. Knights, after a pretty decent run of 3-4 wins in a row, went down 2-0, unfortunately, to Bulleen. Had the chance, I reckon, to probably win it in the first half, but as things go, you cop a goal right at the end of the half time and then, or right at the end of the first half. Red card, cop another goal, and it's pretty much game over. Whereas Dinamo 1-0 down against Heidelberg, who's on top and probably a powerhouse in Australian football at the moment at their local level, got a 2-1 win in front of a raucous crowd there on pitch 3. So they didn't play on the main ground. They must have, the MPL must have allowed them to switch it up top.
Well, greening the grass over on ground number 1. Reseeded it and that, but that's looking actually spectacular. I saw it the other day. It's green as, but yeah, look, what a turnaround for Dinamo for starters. We can start there with
you keep talking Spolge.
Dinamo was there, after a 5-0 shellacking against Melbourne City. Melbourne City, but they're bringing down A-League players and whatever, and it just didn't look good. But to come back with that kind of a performance against Heidelberg was actually really good to watch. Not that Heidelberg was severely outplayed. We're talking about the team that's still on the top of the ladder. It was actually a good, hard-fought game of football. It's nice and tight in the midfield, but Dinamo's work rate was just outstanding, and that's what I think it all came down to. That young Martinovic was an absolute standout. Like everything just seemed to go through him. He just kept going. He just looked so composed on the ball. But speaking of balls, that guy's got a pair of them. He's really going in for everything. I think for me, what epitomised the game there yesterday was, I think it was about the 90th or 91st minute tackle that he's come in right in front of all the Dinamo supporters as well. And it was that old school Dinamo 2 feet in, winning the ball cleanly, no prisoners taken, but he's got touch. He's got a lot of, a really good player, someone to watch out for, I think. And look, you hope that it's not just a flash in the pan for Dinamo and that it all continues that way.
They build on it. And
they build on it because, look, they certainly can do it, and everything certainly off the park is going really well for Dinamo. And you hope similar things will happen on the park. Dandy City, -4 points. I don't know if we talked about that too much last year, but very, very disappointing decision from. Look, I heard it's actually outsourced or something like it. So actually, Football Victoria that makes these choices. They've got an independent body that they use to make these kind of choices, and who goes, 4 points under, or as in Preston's case, I think was 6 points. But and that was because of what happened in that grand final. And that grand final was gone, after Preston missed out, everyone was saying, it's going to be all doom and gloom for the NPL final until Dandy City made it. And then there was almost 9,000 fans that were there, of which more than half were supporting Dandy City because their community got behind it. It was a spectacle. It was a beautiful night for football, not just for our community, but for football in general. The atmosphere, everything that happened on and off the park. And because of a flare or two, which I'm not condoning, I'm not saying that you should be allowed to throw flares on the pitch, but is that good enough reason to take 4 points away from a team that worked their asses off and created a fairy tale story for the league? I think not. Like, if you were to fine the club, that's fine, but now to take points away because of flares or some bad behavior from a couple of individuals doesn't sit well for me. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. So, but anyway, now Dandy's sitting on, maybe threw away the 2 points there against Hume. Kind of invited to put under pressure there the last 20 minutes. Probably deserved the 3 points, I think. But look, Hume's a decent team. They're sitting third on the ladder.
That's right.
But again, they're not too far behind. There's 2 points, after your bonus 4 is not so bad. But Dinamo, even going back to Dinamo now, after some like really tough performances and tough results, are 2 points out of the 6.
That's right.
Incredible. 5 points from first spot.
Turns around really quick.
Yeah, so I think it's again illustrates just how close the league is, and just we're many weeks away from really seeing who's going to succeed or who's who are the haves and the have-nots.
But before we go to our next guest, again, we'll mention some particular people from last year's Christmas show. So St Albans Dinamo obviously hosted and were very, very generous in their sponsor. Gave us a decent sponsorship in Jack, and now with Ante Stippic from Strathmore Split. Geelong Dom gave us 10 of their tickets, their $50 tickets that they had for the, what was it, $6,000.
And it was actually one of our tickets that won.
One of our tickets
one
won.
of the
10 tickets that won, or that was sold at PodroomTV's Christmas special, was the winning ticket. It was $6,000 worth of airfares or something to Crow, or something ridiculous. So that was great. So we got to keep the money from those 10.
That's right.
And all our T-shirts sold out thanks to Sign Utopia, Phil Butich out there, who printed those for us at very, very short notice. 50 T-shirts.
Who would have thought 50 maniacs are walking around Melbourne or even beyond with our heads on their back?
We couldn't believe it. So we were just chatting about it earlier, about what we will be doing with some of that money. So some, whether you want to call it sponsorship, purchasing of memberships, etc. So if you're at one of our clubs, be on the lookout for either an email, a phone call from myself or from Spolgen. We'll start looking at doing some memberships. And speaking of memberships, Strathmore Split this year is for the first time selling memberships at $100 a pop, and you get to choose, I think, between a beanie and a scarf. But it's a new initiative. They've not done it in the past, but Strathmore Split this year, and let's just... You're wearing, this will be this year's home jersey.
So I don't know if you can see this, but very, very smart looking. Like even I look okay in it.
Spolge has the home jersey, and
the bingo on the front, like a massive supporter of the club. Some other supporters on the back. This other builder at the back, Krivik. I don't know who that is. That's some
Krivik group.
But no, beautiful 50th year.
And the retro, and they have the long sleeve retro jersey. So this is a copy of the original 1976 jersey, albeit it was a short sleeve, but they've done it in a long because that gives it that extra retro feel. It's got the Split Auto Repairs logo, the original logo, and the red, white, and blue sash across the front. And on the back, your number, and then you get the current logo as well, the 50th anniversary Strathmore Split logo. So keep your eyes peeled for the merchandise that will be available down there at the club. And even if you're interstate and if you love collecting jerseys like particular stuff that's retro or vintage looking, get all over it. That vein, we will speak to Mattia. Let's have a look. Mr. Stippic, patiently waiting for us there. How you going, Ante? Welcome to PodroomTV, mate.
Look at that smile. Look at him. Look at him. He's thrilled to be here.
I know you're smiling. He lost 3-2 to Geelong Rangers on Saturday, man.
You can't hear a word you say. You may need to turn on your microphone.
Have you got it on mutav, or have you got it on fully working? Technological issues down your end as well.
The smile went pretty quick.
You can log off, come back on if you want. Log off, come back. Might work that way.
He gave that shake of the head, that Nesnum shake of the head, which
That's
is
the Ivan Giselle.
Nearmum Poima. But look at that background. Maybe that's why we can't hear him, because he's got that amazing background.
Using up all the bandwidth on the technology in the background.
Maybe. We don't have enough diesel in the country to power that. Oh, he's gone.
Hey.
He's back.
He's the magic man. Now you see me. Now you don't.
Oh, he's a magic man.
Still can't hear, mate. If you are talking, ne čujemo. Nah, switch, jump off, jump back in. Probaj tako. Switch on, switch on.
Yeah, enable the microphone. All right. It's not the government trying to listen in on you. You just need the microphone turned on so that we can hear you.
We'll get Stippa back. But Spolge, we haven't told the Narod who our third and final guests will be.
Ooh.
Now, pending technological hiccups and hurdles,
which I'm sure there will be many
I spent
of.
so much time down here fixing this up and cleaning it, and built a little bloody grandstand
Which looks unbelievable.
in there, which I was going to even set up a second camera to face that way to show you what it all looks like in real time. Ali, the first camera wasn't even working. But fingers crossed, at about 9 o'clock our time, so in another 14 to 15 minutes, we'll hopefully be joined by Ivan Čuža, is it Ivan?
Yeah.
And the Sinovi Herzegovina, who will be touring Croatia in the coming, touring Australia in the coming months, Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, etc. So the boys from Sinovi Herzegovina will be joining us. The interview will be in Crow, obviously. Ali, we're just going to get a bit of a feel of who they are, what they are looking forward to, some of the projects that they might be working on, etc., and all about their concert tour here of Australia coming up. Now let's have a look. Stippa's now got his headphones on.
Hopefully this one works.
No. Ground control.
Ground control to Major Tom. No. Something on, you've disabled your microphone or something there on that side, but
is there any?
I don't know. Do we talk about Strathmore news like in the meantime, or do we wait for Stippa to come back?
Hello?
Yes,
yeah, we got
there's
you.
a bit of maybe
There
a
you go.
delay, but we got something.
Are you there?
Yeah, yes.
Speak to us, young. Yeah,
Here we go. Art Stippic,
Alright.
Strathmore split, 1976 formed, celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. Round one of the new season started on Saturday. Unfortunately, in the 3-2 narrow loss to Geelong Rangers away from home. But big things are happening down there at Split. 50 years is no small achievement, culminating in a massive gala in Footscray on the 13th of June, which is sold out, and sold out pretty quickly from what I understand, Stippa. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, within 2 weeks it got sold out. So we're pretty happy there. So, but there's a lot of work that's going in. We've got a dedicated team on the organising committee. So, yeah, like you said earlier, there's a lot happening this year. Probably more to happen, more announcements to come.
We're looking forward to any and all announcements, which we're always on the lookout. And being our first show back, we're hoping for some extra announcements tonight, but we can wait. We're a patient Narod. But
you did. You spoke about.
I'm losing patience.
Bring up some announcements. The memberships. Become a member. It's 50th year. $100. Really nothing. Really nothing in the scheme.
that's
of things to
about
become a member.
what's that? Fill up 2 probably Coke cans of diesel these days.
About that, more or less. But not only that, but with $100, it's not like you just become a member. You receive a scarf or a beanie, and an
Or
invite
both.
to the members' lunch. And that members' lunch in itself is worth about $300, I could say. Lots of food and an enjoyable day. So that the members' lunch is a wonderful occasion, like most of them down at Strathmore. Yes, no,
but it is.
Yeah, no, it's a token. I think it's more of it's a good token gesture, and like
It
I
is.
said, for us, it's just I think it's a lot of people ask how do we become a member. So I finally think this year we pulled our fingers out and organised something.
Yeah. How many juniors has Split got now?
Just over 300.
Over 300
unbelievable.
juniors. You know,
That's
again, it's something that we always often talk about is that clubs from humble beginnings to end up with 300 junior. They tried getting juniors up and running 40 years ago.
How many juniors were there when you were there?
We had 2 teams that was made up of players from other clubs. Basically, had a gala day. 2 or 4 teams, I think it was. It was Pokoni Frank Rezo was trying to get the juniors off the ground even back then. Then there was, again, probably a snip there in the 90s. I saw a little reel come up today, and I saw some of those young boys, young Johnny Jalats and boys in the junior team there at one stage. But now to have 300 kids playing juniors at Strathmore is huge. And
well, speaking of Jalats, Jalats's daughter and my daughter are now playing in the juniors together. So you can see that that legacy still continues on.
There you go. And what was the other one? I just had something on the tip of my tongue as well. The golf day. You recently hosted a golf day. What was it, last Sunday? The Sunday before? Ridiculous numbers. How many people were involved in that?
Oh, well over 100. I think it was 120 or even more. So it was a great turnout. We had great weather, good bunch of blokes there. Everyone had fun. So great success. It was our inaugural golf day. And then teed off early, just after 7 o'clock. And then we all ended up back at the club where Robert Mladenic, Dalmatia, Spit put in a good spread. Beers were flowing. Good camaraderie there, so it was a successful, good day.
Yeah, no, that's bloody fantastic. So there's all these things happening as well off the field. We know that in recent years, the obviously the move from Broadmeadows High School, from Billy Wojtek Reserve, which is a fairly dilapidated and
it's a very modern state school now.
It is now, but not when we were there again. We had very little investment into us, but once we go, all the money's thrown at these places.
We couldn't wait to leave that place, and I'm talking trainings and match days as soon as you finish. It was
Then moved to Strathmore, again, relatively dilapidated facilities at the time, and then a massive redevelopment there. Obviously still trying to get on the council to help out with a little bit of the car park issues that we have down there, but the club rooms now are absolutely fantastic and are being used for other things other than football, obviously, because it is a facility now that you can host birthday parties and whatever you like. Yeah. Modern dressing rooms, grounds, I think, have been fixed up as well for the drainage because it does sit in a little bit of a dip there. But good.
And you played no small part in that yourself. I mean, you're a massive part of that whole redevelopment.
Maybe just a little bit. So,
maybe
just a little bit in that.
Maybe a little bit more than a little bit, but like you said, now there's like over 300 juniors playing at the club of all walks of life. Plenty of Croatian kids, but plenty of kids from all sorts of backgrounds, and are just loving the club. Loving being part of Strathmore.
10 years ago, the juniors really took off or started. You could really, we could probably describe it. So, and it just shows the popularity of the sport. As a whole, and I think a lot of other clubs have a similar issue. There's a lot of demand, but facilities is always a strain.
So, like many clubs that don't own their own facility, you have your pre-season trainings at various other venues, and sort of trying to organise that is probably a job in itself. Trying to get junior teams on one ground, another ground. I know it's the same at Dynamo. It's the same pretty much everywhere. Even if you do own your own ground, sometimes you're a little bit hamstrung. You still fit everybody on there as well. So
I'm sure
need to play
other club people involved in clubs would say pre-seasons are always a burden because there's so much to do and organise. So, but we get through it.
But there's so much that needs to happen. Like you spoke about the car park and even that one-way road that leads into the car park and out of the car park. And I know there was a petition recently going out there, and I know, unfortunately, well, you don't have to say it, I'll say it, but let's call a spade a spade. The council just really not giving football the time of day, giving cricket plenty, giving football plenty in the AFL variety, but not so much for soccer, and that includes Essendon Royals as well. So if anyone does live over in the Moonee Valley area or precinct or thereabouts, make sure you make plenty of noise to the council and say, you know what, we need better facilities for our kids, for our girls, for everybody, Strathmore being quite a progressive club, plenty of girls playing at the club, plenty of events, plenty of games happening for the local community. needs the support of the local council. Local councillors, if you are watching, and I hope you are, pull your finger out, please, because a club like Strathmore deserves so much more, because they've done the effort, they've pulled their finger out, made sure that there's a place there for over 300 kids to be playing, including girls, and plenty of them. So maybe you need to support them in all of their efforts as well. So if any of you have seen that petition or you haven't, get onto Strathmore's website or into the Instagram page. I'm sure there's plenty of links there to that petition. The more signature we can get, the more support we can get, and you don't have to be from Victoria. I know there's plenty of us from all around the country. Please get behind that, because Strathmore's in a position to be growing as a club, and grown exponentially, like as you mentioned in the last episode, and can continue to grow. You know, we need a strong club in the northern suburbs, and that's exactly what Strathmore is. So let's continue strengthening the club and strengthening the Croatian influence in the northern suburbs.
That's right.
Also, on top of that, we talked about the 50th anniversary. If you haven't got a ticket, we don't really have to sell it because it's sold out. And it's sold out very, very quickly. But everyone that's got a ticket, I can assure you, it's going to be a massive night. This is going to be something very special. Those of you that were at the 50th anniversary for Dinamo last year were wowed by that. Be prepared to be wowed again, because this is going to be equally as grand as the Dinamo night. 450 guests over at the Dome, overlooking those beautiful what would you call them? Those air where they let the air out of the tunnels. Those things, they light up over there. I don't know. I've got one not far from my house that I can look for. Yeah, where they're letting out carbon monoxide into the atmosphere. It's beautiful, but it's going to be an incredible night. Couple of gentlemen over here will be emceeing that night. There's not a bad band playing that night as well. But it's going to be a crazy night. But it's not just about it. There's so many things that are going to be happening. I don't want to say too much because there's so many surprises. But everyone that's going to be there, it's going to be an unforgettable evening for everyone, worthy of the 50 years and worthy of the late Frank Rezo as well, who I'm sure will be watching from heaven and will be so proud of what's going to be happening on that night. And we'll try our best to make everyone that made this club and built this club proud. I know there is some raffle tickets that are being sold as well, $10 each, that are going to go and sell very, very shortly. Now, I don't know if those $10 raffle tickets, Stippa, you might know, is that going towards a $10,000 prize?
You know, probably more than me, mate. So I've got.
Well, I probably do, because I have to listen to this shit every day.
No one tells me nothing, mate. I'm just.
But,
I'm worried about
$10 each,
making sure there's toilet paper in
but there are going to be some huge prizes on the night. A $10,000 grand prize on that evening, mate. That someone's going to be very happy on that night.
Yeah. So you're right, Rob. There'll be good prizes on the night, we're hoping to put on a good night for our guests. A lot of people had requested us to move it to Sunshine Centre, but we stuck with our original decision, and for the fortunate people that'll be present there. So hopefully it'll be a good, memorable night, and most importantly, be a celebration of 50 years.
Exactly right.
We still. But we know that, big thanks, sorry to cut you off, but big thanks to the Footscray Dorm as well, who came to the party and have given helped out Strathmore a lot for the evening. So thanks to Buzzy and
they're always a supporter. Yep, always a supporter. They are.
Tell us, Stippa, when's the Split's first home game for this season?
All right, yeah. So in a fortnight's time after Easter, on the 11th of April, on a Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m., 1 p.m. reserves. Our first home game against Surf Coast, much like Dinamo. Our ground is currently doing the 4-week oversow process, so it's closed. So it'll be nice and green and lush, so we'll be calling everyone to come down on a Saturday afternoon, and hopefully the boys will put on a good performance for our supporters and get the 3 points, most importantly.
Yeah, maybe you never know if they pick up couple of points in the next few weeks and make a push for promotion in the 50th year. You never know.
Look, it's we've just had our like I said, round one, as you mentioned earlier. Round one, we started off a bit disappointing, very disappointing, I'd say. But it's a long season ahead, so we'll we'll regroup and got a game this Friday night. So hopefully we can go one better than last week and go on the upward trajectory from there.
So who you played this week?
We got we're down at Epping Whittlesea Rangers at the Epping Stadium. So
Epping Stadium on the big stage.
Yes, yep. So
Yeah,
there we go.
Very good.
There we go. There we go.
No, that's it. I think I've said everything. Yeah, I think I won't get in trouble when I get home. I think I'll be all right. So.
No, I think you've covered it. So, like I said, for us,
Stippa,
it's a big milestone.
Once again,
here.
all the
It's not just for the club. I think it's a huge milestone year, even for the community, because there's been so many people that have been touched by the club or have had some involvement. Even if it was a brief involvement with the club, like all clubs, not just Strathmore, but all clubs in and around the country. So, but it's got to be a huge one as Strathmore continues to grow in stature as a football club.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about these internet rumours I've been reading over the past couple of days about a team of the century where, obviously there's some automatic picks in there. I know. There's some automatic choices there to be made. I'm just I've started preparing a speech. So I'm writing a song and I'm also preparing a speech at the same time. So it'll be looking forward to my family. I'm going to have my parents are going to be there. I've called everybody to come there because I'll be accepting.
Better not disappoint, hey?
But we are also anyone out there that does have possibly any memorabilia from the club over many years, where it's an old jersey, an old tracksuit, old photos, clippings, newspapers, key rings,
anything.
I've got the flag here, Stippa. I did think it was misplaced, but I do have one of the original club flags here at my place. So we had a little bit altered and fixed for the event. But then also Kasian Perisic, who is one of the founders of the club. I will be hopefully getting to his joint, and he has a treasure trove apparently of memorabilia from the club over many years, and we've got to get our hands on some of that stuff as well.
I think you might need a few people to help you go through this. If you know what I mean.
But anything, like you said, big or small, whether even if it's a newspaper article,
definitely,
newspapers or anything, everything's going to be welcome. But as I say, you got any merch coming out now for this 50th anniversary as well?
Oh, we've released, we've released some T-shirts, and then as Smolik is modelling there, that's our, we call it the Heritage T-shirt, which will be the away top for all the juniors and the seniors and the masters. So the whole club wearing that will be the away top.
Are you selling those jerseys as well?
They will be available for purchase, so we can arrange that. So
look, I've kept the tag on this one.
Yeah.
So I don't know, how much are you selling these tops for?
Oh, that's the plague top. Yeah. So I call it the Republic of China.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't want to say it, but I'm glad you said it anyway.
Jimmy loves the gold and the red, especially red. So
heritage top.
So the home top there that you're wearing. So So
how much are they going for? How much are you selling for?
Oh, those really cheap.
Well, this one, I don't know if they're $70 now that I've worn it. They still got the tag. It's worth now 70 pesos. So it's good. Anyway,
you just need to stop giving them away to blokes.
Yeah.
We need that. They're the playing kits. Give them back.
Who's number 5?
But we've proven that these come in like extra large sizes. If we're wearing it.
Well, I've noticed Smoller's been hitting the gym. Yeah.
Stretch this one out a bit, mate. Whoever's wearing this needs to get some creativity.
Next week. No worry, I'll deal with it.
All right, Stippa. Thanks, mate. We'll keep on everything that's going on down there at Split, and no doubt we'll get plenty of good footage and content from that on the 13th of June. It's going to be absolutely massive. We're pumped for it. I can't wait for it. I reckon it's going to be the best album of the year, and should be good, mate.
No worries, guys. Keep up the good work. Appreciate your support. Stay out of trouble.
Cheers, mate.
Lock and odds.
Yeah.
I was going to ask him what he thought about the whole Keshovich thing. Maybe better we didn't Stippa, because I think he would have taken it to another level.
That's right. That's right. But as we mentioned earlier, I thought, you never know. It's sort of hit and miss with these things with guests overseas. Not technology-wise, just trying to log in and
Don't talk it up yet.
Do all these things. But in the background, we have, as I mentioned earlier, so coming out to Australia. Let me just bring up the flyers because I didn't really get through much of the stuff that I put up. But coming up, 10. travanj, Hrvatski klub, you can see there, Bosna, St. Mary's, Sydney. So they're there, 10th of April in Sydney. 11th of April, Canberra, Hrvatski dom, O'Connor. 17th of April, Gold Coast, Croatian Sports Centre in Carrara. And then wrapping up on the 18th of April in Melbourne, the Hrvatski dom in Footscray. And that will be Sinovi Hercegovine. Many of you would be very familiar with their music, particularly people at my house and here in my neighbourhood, because where I live, it is basically a mala Hercegovina, my little zaselok, my naselje.
I ti si sada isto.
Ja sam, Hercegovac na Hrvatsku diše, and me being sada počasni Hercegovac, we are very, very honoured to bring to you. It is Ivan Čuže from Sinovi Hercegovine. Hopefully the technology works. Ivane, dobro jutro kod vas, dobra večer.
Jel se čujemo?
Čujemo se, ja vas odlično čujem i vidim, evo ne znam kako je
Čujemo i vidimo čisto ko Neretva.
Ko suza.
Hvala vam što ste se uključili u jako kratkom roku. Ja sam vam poslao poruku preko prijatelja Mije Čoline, on mi je dao detalje, ja sam vam poslao poruku i nakon kratkog vremena vi se javili, može, kako, što, i evo, kroz par sati uživo u našu emisiju PodroomTV, ali malo nam recite o sebi, svaki put, recite malo o sebi, o grupi, jeste svi iz istog kraja ili ste iz različitih krajeva i kako ste došli skupa i koliko već svirate i pjevate skupa.
Pa evo ovako, prvo pozdrav za vaše cijenjene gledatelje, za našu publiku, pa onda ću o sebi. Oni su najvažniji. Nastali smo 2012. godine, a ima nas iz svih krajeva, zato jesmo sinovi cijele Hercegovine. Čak smo malo ušli u Bosnu, ako je Livno Bosna, jer ima klavijaturista nam jedan iz Livna.
Nećemo, Zet će me isprebijati ako mu kaže da je Hercegovina.
Ja sam čuo da je Tomislav grad i Livno, da je to i u BiH, onda to je to.
Pa sad ja ne znam, njima je drago da se oslovljavaju kao Hercegovci, a nama je svejedno, sad kako se oni osjećaju, evo ne znam. Sinovi Hercegovine 2012. nastali, ima nas iz svih krajeva. Trojica smo iz Širokog Brijega, Gradac, moje misto Gradac, Gornji Mostarski Gradac pored Mostara, ali općina je Široki Brijeg. I Mate Roti, moj rođak, kolega koji basira, on je isto tu Gradac. Toma Ćorić, kolega na klavijaturi, on je Biograc, isto Široki Brijeg, selo pokraj Širokog Brijega. I mali Hrvoje Grubišić, on neće moći doći na turneju, ima svatove, ženi se, ali mi ćemo se zato uspješno vratiti ako Bog da do 26. travnja, znači ima velike obaveze. On je iz Posuškog Graca, Posušje. I Vilin Kasal, on je Srđević i Livno, klavijaturista i harmonikaš. To je nekakav naš sadašnji sastav, a bilo je minjala se nešto ekipa, jedan dio je odlazio i dolazio, uglavnom ja i Ćorić odavno i Rotin smo tu već dugi niz godina.
Jeste kada bili u Australiji ovako osobno, ili imate možda rodbine ovdje koje ćete uspjeti posjetiti kad dođete? Ili
osobno nisam bio, ali smo imali poziv i trebali smo doći tu prije same korone, imali smo zagovoreno 7 nastupa koncerata, eto nažalost korona nam nije dozvolila tada putovanje, bilo je kako je bilo i evo stvorila se nova vizija, nova potreba, evo ovako Bog da, sad smo uspjeli.
Da, i uspjet ćete
A imam rodbine tu u Adelaidu, evo pozdravljam i vidit ćemo se, vi niste najavili Adelaide 19. travnja, tako da smo...
Pa doći će oni u Melbourne, jer nisu tako daleko.
Hoće doći, ali u Adelaide smo eto.
Koga imate u Adelaidu?
To su od mog ćaće bile 2 tetke, umrle su, ali njihova dica, ova Ruža i muž.
A kako se prezivaju?
Ruža, bili su Knezović, sad je Ruža, ne znam, udata je za ovog Irca, ne znam kako se kamerom preziva.
Pa onda neće. Jer ne znam, ja ne poznam.
Ali on će doći, svakako će doći. Evo, ne mogu ispričavam se nekako
Ne, ja sam mislim, jer mislim, dosta smo mala zajednica, pa onda svi se poznajemo.
Ona je Knezović bila i dobro priča hrvatski i tako, a on je Irac, pa ne znam da li se baš uklapa.
Pa možda i on malo priča hrvatski.
Malo je, nego govori, ne znam da li se s vama tamo po tim klubovima viđa i zajednicama, ali ona je.
Sigurno ove riječi koji ne bi trebao naučiti, to je naučio sigurno.
Da, ali jeste putovali, jeste bili u drugim zemljama, osim ovo malo bliže ove europskim zemljama, jeste možda isto bili u Kanadi, u Americi ili tako, možda u Južnoj Americi?
Ne, nismo bili, isto smo imali poziv, imamo ga i sada, ali su, nažalost, američka nam tada administracija nije odobrila vize, evo sad, Bogu hvala, vize su ukinute za hrvatske putovnice, tako da će sad biti velika prilika da odemo tamo. A Evropska unija, nju smo obišli svu Hrvatska, naročito po Njemačkoj klubovi hrvatski i fešte. Tu smo stali. Austrija. Gornja Austrija.
Ovo naselje di emitiramo ovo iz mog podruma, u kući, ali 2-3 ulice samo mogu šljivu baciti. Ima, ja mislim, ne znam koliko ih ima, ali svi iz okolice Konjica.
Da.
A Konjica,
Baba moja, u stvari žena mater, ona je u susjedstvu tu odmah, par kuća doli ovi, pa preko druge ulice drugi, pa treći, pa tu se bučaju nedjeljom isto u jedno malo parku tu, tako da ima tu Hercegovaca isto samo u mom kraju, a kamoli po čitavoj Australiji, pogotovo po zapadu Melbourna isto ima jako puno ljudi iz tih krajeva, tako nadamo se da ispuniti sve sale i sve koncerte, da što više naroda dođe.
Eto i mi se nadamo. Nije do nas, mi ćemo pivati, a vi dobro napravite reklamu.
Hoćemo, evo to je sada pokušavamo raditi, ali recimo o vama kako ste počeli, kada ste počeli i kako sada ide taj put vaš?
Pa naš put je bio, eto kažem ti, od 2012. A nije slučajno svi smo mi bili nekakvi ili u folkloru pjevači ili u grupi ili u bendovima, ove kolege. Naravno, Toma on je svirao tada u jednom drugom svatovskom bendu, ja sam vodio neke folklorne skupine. I 2012. je pao onaj veliki snig, zatrpalo je sve 22 dana, niko nije izlazio nikud iz kuća i mi smo u svom selu 22 dana samo pivali. Znači ništa nismo mogli raditi. I to nam je dalo zapravo meni ideju da se malo to... bilo je svega. I onda kad sam vidio da je to dobro, onako zvuči malo izvorno i malo neobično, tako dobro i kvalitetno, onda sam došao na ideju da se mi zapravo i zovemo Sinovi Hercegovine, ja sam to ime i tražio i dao. I evo od početka ispišem i skladam te pjesme, to mi se da. I taj prvi nastup veliki smo 2015. imali smo i dosta, ali to je bilo lijepom našom u Širokom Brijegu. Kad smo prvi put a kapela izveli Hercegova za Hrvatsku diše. I to je onda, to je bila nekakva onako ekspanzija naša, jedna velika noć, jedna velika večer. Tada smo za noć imali na hrvatskoj televiziji, na njihovim kanalima preko 100.000 pregleda. To je jednostavno odjeknulo po cijelom svijetu i onda smo posle toga naravno vidjeli da smo zapravo i prihvaćeni to koliko jesmo i onda se stalno radilo, evo. Danas smo tu, imamo preko 60 autorskih pjesama, moramo samostalno držati svaki koncert bilo kojem istu. A naravno mi uz naše koncerte izvodimo i uz naše pismo izvodimo i sve poznatije hitove i zavisi, znamo šta publika voli, onda se malo i prilagodimo i uglavnom dobri smo zabavljači, rado nas publika prihvaća, nije da se hvalim, ali znamo se nekako s publikom, jako dobro komuniciramo.
Da, baš super. A jedva čekamo, ja mislim da hrvatski narod, a pogotovo i oni iz Hercegovine koji slušate. Ja volim našu pismu, nema veze iz kojeg je kraja. Ja volim vas slušati nego ne znam što, ali nadam se da će se što više ljudi odazvati, doći, poslušati i kroz ovu emisiju, ako uključite YouTube, poslušati Spotify, kao što ja znam, nek poslušaju pjesme, nauče, ako nisu, neke su jako, jako poznate i čuje se svako malo dođe u naše klubove, ali nek cijeli repertoar ako možemo naučiti lipo i onda da moramo zapjevati skupa, baš ono domaći, jel?
Hoćemo, 100% tvrdim, znači neće im faliti oko neke naše i ne znam, bit će tu i Bulićeve i Thompsonove i Škorine i Miše Kovača stare, Olivere Zečić, znači sve što je domoljubno, što je dobro, sigurno ćemo obuhvatiti. A 10. travanj nećemo mi zaobići ne one što pripadaju tom danu.
A vidit ćemo i možda i od Ranka Bobana nešto, vidjeli smo kroz vijesti ovih dana da je bilo...
Kako ne, Ivo Fabijan, Ranko Boban, sve je to spremno.
Da se je pjevalo na utakmici Zrinski, ko je ono bilo, Zrinski Sarajevo, Zrinski Velež, ne znam, kup, ono, šta li je bilo.
Zrinski Sarajevo, je.
Da, baš ono, kontroverza je, ali nekima drago, nekima krivo.
Ali je po našti.
Nam je bilo jako drago.
Ali ako mogu, jedno pitanje o muzike, kako je sada našim ljudima u Hercegovini, pogotovo u BiH ovih dana, ili ide nabolje ili ide nagore, znam da ima sada svakakvih ružnih stvari i riječi što se sada pričaju i ovi političari, pogotovo u Republikoj Srpskoj, što svašta, da smijem kazati, seru. Ali kako je, mislim, iskreno ljudima, našim ljudima u Bosni i Hercegovini?
Pa ovako, ja ću vam iskreno reći, ja se krećem među ljudima i stalno sam tu, imam i neki svoj obrt i biznis koji radim, autopraona i montaža guma, vulkanizacija za kamione, autobuse, to radim i vamo, dečki, kad ne pivam. I stalno sam sa ljudima, sve 3 nacije manje, više dolaze ljudi, mislim, i Zapadna Hercegovina, ali u prolazu dođu i ne osjeća se baš ta netrpeljivost među malim narodom. To se više medijski pumpa zbog nekih izbora narednih ili nešto da svak na sebi uvati neke političke poene, a to se u praktičnom životu skoro i ne primijeti, vjerujte mi. I da vam kažem da Hercegovina evo zadnje 2-3 godine nikada nije bolje živjela, i Hercegovina i Hrvatska, cijene su koliko toliko pristupačne, počeo se cijeniti svaki rad, svaki majstorluk i čak je došlo do toga da mi nemamo više dovoljno svoje radne snage, da smo uvezli dosta Nepalaca, Indijaca i da smo, evo, možemo se porediti sa Europskom unijom, samo nismo još, ne koristimo eure baš toliko, imamo konvertibilnu marku, ali što se tiče posla i gospodarstva, naročito Zapadna Hercegovina, mogu nas svi pozaviditi. Najveći smo izvoznici u BiH po svim statistikama i najbolje razvijenija županija. I najmanje se iz nje iselilo i čak se u zadnje 2-3 godine ljudi jako dobro i vraćaju.
To je baš ono super, baš nam je drago čuti, kao iseljenici ili djeca iseljenika, to mi je drago čuti da se ljudi vraćaju, vidimo i po
Ja sam baš spomenuo nedavno na jednom gostovanju kod Hrvatskog radija Melbourne, kod Ante, mislim, Radića, u emisiji, ako neki žele da se vrate, a ima Australaca koji su se vratili, da je sad pravo vrijeme, da sigurno će uspjeti da ima mista za sve, za bilo kakav biznis i bilo kakav posao koji imaju u glavi, neku ideju, sad je pravo vrijeme i sigurno će im to biti, neće biti greška i bit će jako dobro prihvaćeni i bit će cijenjeno to što rade sada.
Opet što se tiče, li ima tu razlike između hrvatska mjesta u Hercegovini i ostala mjesta, recimo u Bosni i tako, jel se vidi tu neka razlika?
Pa tu se vidi osjetna razlika zato što opet Hercegovci, a niko nije tako pomeli, niko nije tako snalažljiv i poduzetan kao, nije da se hvalimo kao Hercegovci. Vi nas da bacite na glavu, on će se dočekati na noge kao mačka.
Proba se puno puta se ja Hercegovce probao baciti na glavu
i pani na noge.
Ko mačke.
I tako da što se tiče toga dijela razlike ima u tim zonama gospodarstva i u tim poslovima vidi se osjetna razlika zapadne Hercegovine i drugih krajeva, ali kažem, ja ne znam, ili smo mi toliko snalažljivi ili su ovi malo manje snalažljivi ili su, ne znam šta je zaustavilo da jednostavno ne pogodu ili blizina granice ili naša ta, kažem, snalažljivost, ali za Široki Brig mogu reći da je to jedna najrazvijeniji grad u našoj županiji, a županija Zapadno-Hercegovačka sigurno u BiH. A za ova mjesta po Bosni ima razlike, sad koji je to razlog, što su manje poduzetni, ne znam, ne bi ulazio u to da li je to do naroda, da li je to do neke ostalih infrastrukturnih ili nekih drugih stvari, ja to ne bi znao baš izanalizirati.
A mislim da ste to već odgovorili na početku, razlog. Ali imate neka očekivanja sad od nas Klokana ovdje, šta mislite, neki dojmovi, šta prije nego što dolazite, da vidimo ako će se to ispuniti vama?
Pa ja nemam nikad neka očekivanja dok ne dođem, drago mi je samo da to prođe sve u redu i taj put, evo zbog tog samog doli rata na Bliskom istoku morali smo mijenjati rutu putovanja, ne idemo više na Dubai, pa idemo na Kuala Lumpur, Istanbul, Kuala Lumpur, Sidney, da to prođe u redu, da se mi dobro tamo, da nas dobro dočekate, a mi da vam dobro vratimo to dobrom hrvatskom pjesmom, ne bi rekao hercegovačkom, zato što kažem da ćemo stvarno obuhvatiti sve da bude fešta najbolja na tim našim koncertima i da dođete ljudi u što većem broju i da se zabavljamo. A ako nešto i ne znate o nama, evo prava prilika da se upoznamo, mi smo jednostavni, normalni ljudi, prihvatljivi, zgodni s publikom, lako radni, što bi se reklo, nismo neki ufurani, ne trpimo nekakva velika zvanja i nekakvih puno čuvara ili sekretija da se do nas ne dođe, znači mi nismo, možda malo i drugačije radimo, više s publikom nego drugi bendovi ili nego drugi pjevači.
Ljudi iz naroda.
Yeah.
Ljudi iz naroda, tako baš.
A slušaj, da ovako, kad ovdje Australci inače moramo ti dati neki nadimak. Ovdje Australci svakom daju nadimak, nema veze kad se rodi, kad umre dobija nadimak. I sad ima jedan ovdje isto u Melbourneu Čuže i njemu je nadimak Čuj. Čuj. Tako da Čuj inače je žvaka, je čunga lunka, Čuj, ne znam, ali Čuže dobija je po australskom Čuj i tako. Sad ja mislim da bi mogli i tebe lipo ovako neformalno nazvati.
Zostaje on žvaku.
Da, kao radi Australac, Čuj, Čuže. Stvarno, hvala vam najljepša što ste se uključili večera, što ste prihvatili poziv tako brzo i tako lako. Ne možemo se stvarno zahvaliti, ali nadamo se, evo još niti mjesec dana i mi se i vidimo i uživo. Nadamo da put prođe bez ikakvih problema. Ako Bog da, dođete ovdje sve kako Bog zapovijeda. Malo se odmorite i onda ćemo mi baš zafeštati ono kako vi najbolje znate.
Tako je, mi se nadamo, evo, uzeli smo karta, znači tamo smo 8. travnja, tako da imamo jedan dobar dan i po, dan i 2 noći da se naspavamo i da 10. bude taj udarni koncert i po datumu, a i po ovom svemu ostalome, znači kako i zaslužuje, da razvalimo, pa onda ćemo lako za dalje.
Nego što.
Rado vas očekujemo, jedva čekamo koncert, znamo da će biti super i hvala vam što ste nam...
A nadimak vi ostavite... Hvala vama na pozivu, a nadimak vi promislite dok ja dođem, ne morate ga odmah dati, jer bit će bolji kad malo razmislite, nemojte na prvu.
Pitat ćemo publiku, gledatelja, ako možete misliti nickname, Čuže, giving me nickname Čuj, ajmo naći nešto.
Ne daj nama neki nadimak.
Hercegovački nadimak.
Pa ali da znate da ću ja sa pozornice vama vratiti to, tako da budete spremni.
Može. Pošteno, ajde.
Robert je kupio ovu bocu Pelinkovca večeras da možemo malo počastiti. I ja sam mu rekao, ili ćemo se podiliti ko braća ili ko Hercegovci. Sad ti se...
Pa kako se dilite?
Dobro, Ivane, kod tebe uživaj, nastavi s tim što radite, uživamo u svemu tome, hrvatski narod vas voli, ovdje u Australiji vidit ćete to isto kad dođete, a i sretan put i pozdrav vama, čitavoj ekipi, vašim obiteljima i držite se i samo nastavite dalje tako da naša Hercegovina bude najbolja županija, kao što ste rekla, najbolji dio Hrvatske države i naroda koji može postojati.
Je, tako je. Pozdrav veliki vama i evo za kraj pustite neku našu pismu za kraj, ako ništa drugo onda sigurno to zaslužuje i uvijek je jako priznata vukovarska slavna mati, pa za sve Hrvate, za sve ucviljene majke koje su izgubile ljude, koje su izgubile svoje sinove. Evo, pustite mi vukovarsku slavnu mati za sve Australce.
Može, ako ne možemo sada, onda pri kraju emisiju da ja
Pa
to
pri kraju
ubacim.
emisije, neka
Može.
to bude nešto od sinova Hercegovine.
Može. Najljepša hvala Ivane i vidimo se što prije. Veliki pozdrav i hvala.
Sretan put. I
Hvala vam puno, vidimo se.
Mirno more.
Miran let, vidimo se.
Bog, Bog.
I što bolje stjuardese.
Ako Bog da.
Vidimo se.
There you go, Ivan Čuže from Sinovi, Herzegovine. Hopefully you got the gist of the conversation, even if your crow's a little bit sketchy. Either way, they're coming out, and I'll just put up those flyers once more because
Because we've
we
got
also
some questions already about how to buy tickets, where they can get tickets from. But it looks like, look, the guy's a fun bloke, obviously, and if anyone's seen any videos of Sinovi Herzegovina, mate, you're going to have a great time that night.
Mate, they give you goosebumps, these
Yeah,
guys. I'll tell you what, you hear them. So you've got, again, 10. travanj, the big one, like you said, the udarni datum, 10th of April.
And you think that's going to be huge.
Bosna Club,
You know,
that's a party.
Out
central.
there, like I know I've had the privilege of singing out there. I was at 700 people there, and I think when Dalmatina was there, was like 3,000 people. But what a venue, absolutely.
If you want a festa for 10. travanj, I think Bosna Club is the go-to place. So if you're in Sydney or in the surrounds, Bosna Club, 10 April. O'Connor Dome, Canberra, 11th, 7 p.m. Get down there as well. That's another massive, fantastic events down at O'Connor as well. 17th of April, Crow Sports Centre there in Carrara, Gold Coast, in Herzegovina again, starting from 7 p.m. And they wrap up their tour at the Dome in Footscray in Melbourne on the 18th of April. Yeah. Now, you can see there, Crow Vision Entertainment is the organisation that is bringing them out. So there must be something online you might be able to...
You know what, worst case, just give the venue a call, whether you're in Melbourne or whatever. If you're in Melbourne, give the Dom a call. Give Bosna Club a call in Sydney and so on and so forth. And if they can't sell you the tickets, I'm sure they'll lead you in the right direction.
That's right.
But like you said, it doesn't matter if you're from Herzegovina or whatever part of Croatia. Ako si dobre volje, come down. You're going to have a wonderful night. They're going to play songs from all parts of Croatia, not just Herzegovina. And yeah, you'll enjoy yourselves.
Exactly.
So make sure you get out
and
there.
other things that I just managed to dig up today while I had a little bit of time. Save the date, North Geelong Festa, 28th of March 2026. So Saturday, 28th of March, down there at North at Elko Park. So put that one in your calendar. Another one I found, save the date, Seljačka Večer, Saturday, 13th of June. So that is up in Brisbane. It is, yep, there you go, Full Crow Group up in Brisbane. Saturday, 13 June, special guest, Prva Liga. So they'll be going up from Sydney and joining you guys up there. And one that's not really technically a public event, but I have spent many, many times
This is now a
talking
public
about
event because of us.
Public, yes, but sort of the teams are already chosen and a draw has been done, etc. But the big, massive cornhole tournament, the United Cup, which actually made it again all the way over to the States, they have picked up on this event. There is also a junior tennis event that's taking place that day and a small-sided soccer tournament as well for kids, I think, under 12 years of age as well. Anzac Day, 10:30 a.m. start. Money raised, so there will be a tombola. And so Jakov Ribac has actually reached out to me this afternoon. And let me just dig up the message. Do a quick shout out tonight and ask if any Crow clubs out there are able to donate a jersey, a scarf, a pack, or anything for the raffle. So last year, over $4,000 was raised, and it went to, let me just have a look. It's disappeared from me. I think it was St. John's Park or one of the Crow churches, and some money also went to MS Australia. Yeah. This year, all money raised will be going to a particular Crow family that's hit some hard times over there. through the Knights of the Precious Blood, I believe it is. But there's a couple of different messages I got from Yakov. Yeah, last year raised almost 4,000 for Summerhill Church, apologies, and MS Australia. This year, it has been chosen that the money will be donated directly to a family in Croatia, and the money's being raised through the Knights of the Precious Blood. All money goes directly to family. There's no cuts for CEOs and bullshit, whatever. Yeah. So let's just have a look if I can find the name of the family. But if you go to the Australian, where is it? rosarycrusade.org. Internet on my phone here is absolutely terrible, but all money's raised. But if you are able to donate something, if you're not in Sydney, you may be in Melbourne or one of the other states, reach out to us and we can organise to get that up to Sydney. I'm hopefully going to get up there. There's been some changes of plans, but we will do our best to get those up there. So anyone that's got anything, by all means. So just having a look. So there is a story, like I said, Australian Men's Rosarycrusade.org. Jump on there and you'll be able to see my story. The men who pray the rosary publicly in Zagreb helped me and my 7 children survive the winter. So Georgica tells her story about her and her 7 children who are in tough times, and the money raised at the United Cup cornhole event in the raffle will go towards...
So it's not the end of the world on the Saturdays when they pray the rosary there.
No. According to Ivana Kekin and the other Giovanni out there, that is exactly right.
Wow, it's not an embarrassment to the rest of Europe. No.
But I'll be donating now. Like I mentioned earlier, I was very close to retirement. My song went double platinum on Spotify.
Yeah, it did.
Apple iTunes. With a sum total of $16.90.
Wow.
That is as of February 2026. So
welcome to the world of Spotify, my friend.
Limo drivers, I've been drinking champagne and they're just like in a bathtub and shit. Yeah, $16.90. So thank you, everyone, of those 10,790 streams and downloads of Ned AC. If you still haven't downloaded, I'm only $3.10 away from retiring.
Yeah.
So $16.90.
$3.90.
That's right. $3. Yeah.
$3.90.
Exactly. Either way, diesel's not cheap. Ljudi moji.
Actually, I wanted to ask him how much diesel was.
Herzegovina?
Yeah.
16 cents. He said this largely.
It depends on where you buy it from. Yeah?
Mate, that area between Konjic and Sarajevo, that's the Strait of Hormuz. That shit that gets through there. Mate, you need a car. No worries, mate.
I drove from to Medjugorje from Slavonski Brod, and when we'll go through Republika Srpska, I was just waiting for John Wayne to come out on a horse because it was a wild west, and I was going, when he said 40, I drove 40 because I go, I'm not getting pulled over here.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. But once you got into, and then I went to Zenica. So we got into Zenica and I'm dying for a piss. Right, and we're driving there and nothing works. You come to semaphore, it's everything black. I could see the stadium there at Zenica and I'm going, why did they paint the light towers brown? They're rusted. They're not fucking painted red. They're actually rusted brown. And I'm going, Kuca mi ja došao, and we're driving around where we want to go, going around this roundabout, and I see Hrvatski dom. Fucking straight in. I go, that's where I'm going for a piss.
You didn't go to the prison in Zenica there?
No,
a very notorious prison.
Yeah.
But in other news, Brando Pericic, who we interviewed relatively recently, Crow guy, goes by the name of Balkan Bear.
Yes.
Won his second professional UFC fight over the weekend in London.
Piece of piss.
Oh, 1 minute and 30 seconds or something. He Richie Plesked the Isus out of this bloke. I think that bloke on the ground, he Josip Piškić himself from the amount of Richie Pleskes that he received from Brando Pericic. It was an absolute clinic. He put on a clinic.
He did put on a clinic.
Yeah?
He did.
My God.
And you saw some videos prior to where he was being a smart ass and he was going, no worries, mate, after the fight, bang, 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 gotovo.
Lako noć.
And he came in and his speech was beautiful, it really was, he thanked his narod, thanked his God, thanked, everyone and all the supporters. And it was good, felt like we had a bit of a part of it. Like,
PodroomTV was instrumental.
Mate, and we become
us and Israel Adesanya, between the two of us and him, we've made him the man that he is today.
We are the Suez Canal of his career.
But so look, there's big raps on him now. Obviously, second fight in. Viesnik's done a great piece on him. I think Torchy might have been Torchy's written up an article about him and many other things. But like we always say, subscribe, Hrvatski Viesnik. Let me just have a look. I've got the link now floating across the bottom of the page. Subscribe to the Viesnik, viesnik.com.au/purchase-subscription. Get on their website. It's only, what is it, $4 a week or something? Yeah?
You know what?
If
They've
you
been
want
doing amazing work.
Digital edition is like $4 a week, man. It's a niche.
Honestly,
Or is it-
Viesnik's never been better.
Yeah.
Throughout history, when you look at it objectively, technology and everything, but just you're getting news straight away. It's up to date. It's coming out. You don't have to wait a week to find out this news. It's there. You know,
Not everything. Support it all. Support your local radio station. So we're going to do now, once we can get our technology up to date, because the guys from Hrvati Zajedno up in Sydney look like they got their shit together real good. Yeah, that is looks like a slick professional setup. And we may be doing some kind of a simulcast where we'll go on the same night. We'll do our show linked into their show and vice versa, and we'll be able to bounce off each other. So the Sydney crew of Hrvati Zajedno and PodroomTV collaboration.
They happy to talk to us?
Oh, of course. No, we've chatted, I think, so we just got to pick out a date. But in talking of dates, as of tomorrow, I will be on permanent afternoon shift.
Yeah.
Which means from 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. is my new hours of employment.
How dare you feed your family?
I know, he's exactly right. And people would say, afternoon shift, isn't that double rates, isn't it? No trouble when it's double. No trouble when it's double. So I'll be working now 4 till 12, 3 till 12, Sakidan, Monday to Friday. So I've got Saturdays and Sundays off. So there is a high possibility, again, depending on Spolge, because Spolge has, not only he works Monday to Friday, in normal hours, 9 to 5, etc. He has gigs on Fridays, on Saturdays, etc. So the bloke is more than likely often more exhausted than going to listen to us.
I'm going to catch up. I found that out in the last 3 months.
But we may be moving, or we probably will have to move to Sunday nights. And whether or not we go with every single Sunday until the end of the year, we don't know. We can't promise anything. Again, we're just
We'll adjust. We'll adjust to what we can and can't do. Look, life gets in the way, you know. Fortunately, unfortunately, we've got other things that we need to do. But
well, the cash is
yeah.
When I'm doing this when I'm running pineapples through the Indian Dreamer at the Junction Hotel.
That's right.
And on a Friday night, doing my calamari until Korisma passes. You got to take it while it's coming, mate. We're not young anymore, even though I have a body of a 25-year-old.
23, I was going to say.
But... And I've got grey hairs on my arms, Spolge. I was at my parents' house this morning.
Oh, you said, I thought you were going to say something else.
I was at my parents' house this morning because my car was at my parents'. Because you know what happened to me? I had an accident last night. I slipped. I think it was a banana peel when I walked into Dinamo after the game.
Yeah.
There was a banana peel right near the Vukovar bar.
Yes.
And I slipped and happened to fall into like at least a dozen Great Northern cans.
Yeah.
That fell straight into my throat. And it was just an unfortunate turn of events.
That's uncanny because that's happened to me before.
Yes, I know. It's maybe the same banana peel, same. There we go.
So.
Ali, so I had to go pick up the car, and I'm looking in the sunshine there. I'm having smoke, and I look and I see that lucky man on my arms. Not one. I've seen one or two. I've got many now. On a body like this, it's a travesty. It is. I want to start waxing and shit. Oh, catastrophe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've shaved my head today, so it looks all nice and mladel, but I'm like those horses from those Cowboys Indian movies back in the day, those grey ones that the Comanches used to ride. Yeah, see them now.
The leech on him. The leech used to play the Indians in the spaghetti westerns. Yeah.
That was filmed in Pucklinitsa. Winnetou. If anyone knows, maybe there's people here that were born in Crow that would have grown up watching Winnetou or Winnetou, it's called. It was an American-Canadian series, Indian, whatever, Western, filmed in fucking in Crow. Yeah, and now they're redoing it. Yeah. They're remaking it.
Yeah, it's actually true.
True
there were
story.
so many Westerns all filmed too.
Yeah.
Because the Pustinja there, Lika, but
Ivana Kirkin, there you go. Rob's Borrell, Ivana Kirkin, lol. Yes, if anyone's been following Ivana Kirkin, she's the wife of
Milutin. Yeah.
Milutin Kekin, also lead singer of Hladno Pivo, who back in the day, before I knew Milutin Kekin was Milutin Kekin, I used to listen to him, man.
Me
They were a
too.
decent band in the 90s.
Me too. I have to
It was
admit,
different.
Yeah. No, I liked them. I really liked them. But now in hindsight, when you listen to it with that perspective, it changes the way you listen to it, doesn't it?
Exactly right.
But yeah, she's a piece of work. She really is a piece of work.
But we've got it here. You know what it is?
And that's actually interesting because I asked Ivo here. I said, "Well, what's the atmosphere like?" You know, we were talking about, you know, all sorts of, you know, rubbish that's coming out of politicians, particularly Serbian politicians, what they're saying, and they're worried about Croatia and Albania and Kosovo doing some, you know, joint ventures, axis of evil attacking Serbia, because that's happened so many times in history. But and she's there for, you know, she's putting fuel on the fire with her whole, oh, you're talking of war, you're this, and she's blaming Milanovic and whatever. And not that I'm not one to sort of defend Milanovic or these ones, but
he's a nationalist now.
She's off her head. Well, but that's the kind of world that we live in. That's not a Milanovic. She's a nationalist.
They eat their own. That's what ends up happening. They eat their own, and that's what's happening here in Australia, happening all over the world, where they just run out of extremes. They can't go any further than what they are. So to make themselves relevant, they keep, you know, there's no thought it'll all come to some sort of a logical conclusion, hopefully, and we'll go back to living normal.
You know, they're trying to change the narrative. They're trying to, you know, with everything like Thompson. Thompson's the devil incarnate. Like, oh my God, like his influence.
Oh my God, his daughter voluntarily signed up for the military now. Yeah, so you got the Vojni Rok is back in, and she's put her name down. She wants to go, and they've made it all about God knows what. Anything but a young girl that wants to just go and serve the Croatian army, do a military service, national service, and they've turned it into some big.
Which any country in the world would be proud of.
Exactly right.
You know,
mate, you look
Australia
at these,
included.
I'm not sure if you're a fan
Albo, if he wasn't gay, if he didn't go and had a daughter and came out with a daughter who volunteered for the Army Reserves, everyone would be proud of it. But,
not much Albo. Yeah, Nick. He's got some dry cleaning problems from his visit to the mosque last Friday. Yeah, but Usra se živ, čovjek. You see the fear in his eyes? That's how I used to look when I'd get a letter from school, and my mum said, "Kati Chacha dođe from night shift, from the Chico factory in Tullamarine." Yeah, you is dead, my friend. You
put in the Chicos.
Who know? He doesn't even know. My man doesn't know yet.
It was a secret.
My man reckons. My man's never eaten a dim sim. I don't think a pie, any sort of processed food. Yeah, so it doesn't need mince meat. With what's the one that he says? Chico. Which one is it? Hot dogs.
Yes.
He goes, hot dogs. He goes, you can eat them on Good Friday. He goes, there's no meso in it, mate. There is no meso in a hot dog. You can eat a svaki petak kroz korizmu and you're good. Upstairs, yeah? Oh, that's a true story. Mili Jedinak, we've been corrected here, was first a Warrington Croatia junior before moving to Sydney, Croatia.
That is true. Yes, that is
true.
So,
Živeli, that's from Mazza.
We're talking about like preservatives and foods that go into things. Ivan's Pies. I don't know if you've ever known about Ivan's Pies. They're over near Springvale Church. What's that suburb called? Something with a B. Anyway.
Brayside.
Yes, that's it. Brayside. Ivan's Pies. You actually won many awards. A Croatian bloke who came to a Croatian migrant who came to Australia, tried a pie, and he said, "I like this, but I reckon I can make it better." And in fact, he did, because he won some gold medals, and his pies are really good. And anyone that lives in and around Essendon goes to Lamana. You can purchase Ivan's Pies there, or you can go to over the Brayside, and there's other places you can buy them from. But I got that yucca, like a what do you call it, app. And then what you do is you can scan things, foods, and it tells you like what the nutritional value of it is. They got like Coke is 0 out of 100,
gluten free,
or Vegemite is 27 out of 100. And I did Ivan's Pies, and I thought, look, you know, there's meat in there, and
110 out of 100.
It was, I think it was 3 out of 100 or something like that. Here we go. What was it? 8 out of 100. 8 out of 100 for a pie. So I don't know what's going on in there, and that's a good pie. That's all I want to say. It's actually a good pie. So what the hell's in the 4 and 20? They'll be on or minus.
That's why my parents, as kids, we weren't allowed to eat that.
To bi minus. To može minus.
Konja, onaj krepani Flemington, on ga tamo vozi i baci ga. I magare and all these. look, the animals used in a lot of these products are died of natural causes.
Yep.
They are not slaughtered. They're krepalo. That circle palo napod, and they in the back of the truck and drive it out to the either goes for dog food or it goes for some other kakare. Ali.
But anyway, what did you say? Like you've got a meal. I was going to say Minos now. It reminds you of the time when Moyo went down for a holiday to Dubrovnik, right? So he's gone down there and he stayed at a very famous hotel. This is back in the day, like when around the war time or whatever. So he wasn't paying a lot, just after the war. It was like, so they spend like 7 nights there, and comes down. He goes to pay the bill. And the guy there at the reception says, "Okay, yeah, Mr. Moyo, you've got you stayed here for 7 nights, €100 per night. That's 700 euros, right?" He goes, plus. He goes, you use the sauna for that week. That's another €100. Moyo goes, "I didn't even know there was a sauna up." Morgosi. You could have, you had access to it, He goes, plus another €100. He goes, because you were using the spa, the heated pool, and had breakfast. He goes, "I didn't even know any of that." Morgosi. You had access if you wanted it. He goes, plus, he adds up like that to about €300. So he's got €1,000. So Moyo goes, "Oh, daj mi ovaj račun." He goes, "Look at the račun." He goes, like, "Okay, yeah, no worries." He goes, "So €1,000, you're telling me this, so €700 for staying there for a week, yeah, plus your €300 of bullshit." He goes, "Yeah, može." He goes, minus €1,000 for you sleeping with my father." He goes, "I didn't touch it." Mogo si. You could have if you wanted to. Yeah. Anyway, but you guys, but anyway, let's talk about a couple of things. Anyway, St. Albans Dinamo news. I'm going to get in big trouble if I don't talk about this. So, Australia Cup match coming up. Dinamo versus Ballarat City, Wednesday, April 1st in Ballarat, 7:45 kickoff. You can go there. Number 2, Dinamo's famous burger nights. Have you had a burger night?
I have been to many burger nights at Dinamo.
Tell us about the burgers.
They are second to none. They get the actual burgers from Nikki. That's ridiculous. They are. Again, it's meso. It's not some processed ushi and nosovi and that they throw in these cartilage and shit. It's meso burgers.
Yeah. So on the Thursday, April 2nd, which I believe is Holy Thursday before Good Friday, I think they're having a burger night there, 6 p.m., $20 for a burger and chips. Dinamo again will be supporting the Good Friday appeal, making a donation to Jacob's Day. Speaking to Luke Lowen. I think this might be the last one. For obvious, he says it's taking a toll on him doing this like so many times, and so it could be the last one. So the Jacob's Day has made such a huge contribution to the Good Friday appeal, and so many clubs in support of that.
I think it's now at the $1 million mark or thereabouts.
Like it's insane.
Over the years, how much money the Glover family has raised for Jacob's Day. So if you are, again, that way inclined, you'd like to make a donation around Easter time for a great cause, which is the Good Friday Appeal for the Royal Children's Hospital, which is amazing what they do. Jacob's Day, look it up, jump online. I think $1 million they have raised, close to. I reckon this year, if this is the final year, I reckon if they haven't, they will probably tip over to the $1 million mark, which is just absolutely amazing, and what a difference that would have made.
What a legacy
to how many other kids in this state and probably from interstate who've come here to Nagyechenya and whatever else it might be. Just
it's changing people's lives. It's changing families' lives. People are going through the worst hardships of their life. That money, that support is incredible. One of those things. I was speaking to Lou at the night's season launch at Dinamo, which was a huge night. It was actually such a good night there at Dinamo. We were talking about it, and when I spoke to Lou, and he goes, "You know our Narod?" He goes, "If you want to celebrate, no one celebrates like our Narod. You want to commiserate, no one commiserates like our Narod. And when you need to get around people that need help, no Narod does it like ours." And it is absolutely true. And I've got goosebumps just thinking about it, and talking about it, because this is actually proof of that. It's incredible. I'm not sure exactly how many years it's been going on for now, Jacob's Day, but incredible. You know, when our community rallies behind something, it's actually
St Andrews Hotel
heartlifting.
also,
And the St Andrews
massive
Hotel.
part of it, or what
Yes,
used to be known
yeah.
as the Pump House and the Voyage
Yeah,
family.
Tony Voyage has been
Down
a huge
there,
supporter of it.
just huge. But what a massive legacy that. Well, you can't. You know, it's just the Glover family, what they've done in the hardest of circumstances.
Yeah.
To make the most positive impact.
Yeah, turn their
on,
grief into something so
on
good.
this state, on this country is Kapadoli, yeah.
100%,
Every day of the week. Fantastic.
100%. You know, like so many people would crumble, and understandably so.
That's right.
But no, they've taken their grief and made it turn into a strength, turned it into something good, turned it into making a difference for people in need. And then, you know, like you said, hats off. Amazing.
Exactly right.
Also, let's support the senior women at Dinamo. They have been promoted, and their first home game is on May the 1st at 8:15 at Dinamo. So good luck to them as well. Another special one, we'll go over this. Ilya Dragicevic has been gunning for this for a couple of years, but he's wanted to do like an Oliver tribute night. I know we played a Oliver tribute night when he passed away back in 2018, just after the World Cup. He wants to bring that back. So July 25th, there's going to be a special Oliver tribute night. It will be involving Major Minor. It'll be involving, it's going to be limited seating, but this is going to be a next level event as well. This is going to be something very, very, very special. It's going to be limited seating, but anyone that's going to be at this, not just from a musical point of view, but from everything, just from the setting and food. The food's going to be next level, and anyone that's been at Dinamo in recent times knows that Dinamo is doing food on a different level as well. But this is going to go a real Dalmatian, you know, but like a celebration of Dalmatian food.
April is the month for Herzegovci.
Yeah, and then
July is the month for Dalmatians. There you go.
Oh, look, that's a
For
middle of summer. Middle of
Like I
summer.
said, Ilić was podeliti bratski ili ko Hercegovci.
But speaking of Dalmatian food, like I digress. But anyway, that's for Dinamo. Just keep your eyes and ears open for that one. I was watching. I've watched a bit of YouTube, like in the meantime. But there's this one series that I found on YouTube. It's called Dalmatinska Marenda. It's got 13 episodes, but each episode is like less than 10 minutes, like something like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or something like that. Amazing. They're going to play. They started off in Kvar, going to Brač, Imotski, Makarska, Jesenice, Sinj, even Sinj, like, you know what I mean? Supetar, like going to all these places, but looking at baš ono, tipični, ono, Marenda, authentic Marenda. They're, from Tripice to Stippa and Bob.
Oh,
Stippa and Bob, which
Bob
I don't even
is
know.
the worst.
But no,
No,
but these
Bob-
but you know what? There's actually these ones that do like the Michelin chefs,
Oh, yeah.
you know, that are turning these sort of what you'd say like seljački, you know, peasant foods into Michelin.
So all they're doing
stuff.
is this, and all of a sudden that
it's-
Bob.
That
My
is
God.
taking good ingredients, putting them right, putting them all together. It's incredible, but it's something that we talked about even last year, and we haven't spent enough time celebrating our cuisine. You know, naša kuhinja.
We're fairly, in that regard, I think we're fairly basic in what we've become accustomed to. Yeah? Sarma cevape,
Well,
janje na ražu, and that's it. Yeah. I remember when Dalmatino first came out. That was a shock to the system.
Yep.
That was where they had the crni rizot and all these sorts of things that you'd only see overseas, and that was wrapped. Yeah. But Stippa, I'll eat every day of the week, mate. Cuttlefish.
oh,
Many of you know what a cuttlefish is, because if you had a budgie or a canary, that bone thing that used to hang in the cage so that the bird could sharpen its beak was from a cuttlefish. We eat that shit like
it's amazing.
a bob. I don't even know what that's called in English. It's a massive
A
bean.
broad bean. I think
It's a
broad
bean.
yeah.
It's Nebie. There's a saying over there. Nebie is boba istira or something like that. Ali, our good friend Robbie Yakovljevic from Garfield Pizzeria 3814. New trading hours. So it looks like Robbie, me and you both on double bubble. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday will now be 4 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. 55 Main Street in Garfield, dine in or pick up only. Thursday to Monday, 4 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. So, you're working too Sunday, Robbie, but I reckon in the background.
No, you know
you'll be
what? We're going to
chuckling.
go. You know what? We've sort of promised that we're going to go there. We've got to find a date that we can go and actually go and enjoy the beautiful pizzas that
We'll find it, Moramo.
we have to. No, honestly, I thought we were going to do it over that break, but life gets in the way, unfortunately. But going back just as that Dalmatinska Marenda, please, if you're a foodie, watch it. Even if you're going to Croatia this year or next year or something, it's going to show you some places that you can go and get authentic Dalmatian cuisine, which is just world class, absolutely world class. It actually, you watch it and you almost got a tear coming out. You see how good our cuisine is, how good our offerings are in Croatia, and some of the chefs we've got there, some of the produce we've got there, absolutely incredible. Get out there, watch that Dalmatinska Marenda. Honestly, watch that. It's incredible. They did bring up some tripice, but that was probably one of the worst ones. But you got pašticada, gregada, octopus and anchovy salads, peckers, like things you've never even heard of. Like I'm pretty sure you're a Dalmatian, so you wouldn't have even
heard of it.
Honestly, you wouldn't have even.
If I've heard of it, I haven't eaten it. I know
because
that much.
people from different cellars have got like different, variations of things. Absolutely incredible. Even like from winos, and I know there's a lot of you out there.
No, not a much. No one ne pije.
There's another one on YouTube. It's V is for Vino. It's called The Wine Show. And they did Europe's most overlooked wine country. And guess which one it was? It was Croatia. And amazing how many wines and how many, I can never say this word, autochthonous wines and grapes in Croatia that there are. Something like a Triljenak, or some people call it a Tribidrag, which is the mother of a Zinfandel, which is more well known in American songs. By anyone that's a wino, watch this. Europe's most Europe's most overlooked wine country. V is for Vino. Watch it. It goes for about an hour or something. Delves deeply into Croatian wines, not just from Dalmatia, but from Zagorje, from Slavonia. And that even Slavonia's got, I think, one of the oldest podrums in
Iločki podrumi, man. They're ridiculous.
Incredible.
And people, that's underrated. People don't realize that Slavonia actually makes just as good as wine as what they do in Istra or in Zadar or in anywhere else, because everyone claims that. Yesterday I was speaking to a bloke from Istra who reckons Teran and Malvasia, and that's the greatest wine on earth. And blah,
but they
blah.
are beautiful wines.
Yeah, but then Iločki podrumi has been around for that long. It's a heritage list, probably this joint. It's ridiculous. Different taste. Malo ljuče. I've been to Donji Holjac, I've been to Našice, and I've tried their wine. I'm not a wine drinker, I just try it. Well, malo ljuto in some, different taste, ali then I just go switch over to the Osječko and it's all good, man.
It's all right, Graševina. I think Graševina is the most produced.
Like me, the only wine I drank was cost. The wine I drank when I did drink wine in Crow, when I was broke, cost less than the mineralna voda that I used to mix it with. That's how good it was. I drank Jure and Peristil. So anyone that's a wine connoisseur from your local general store, not going to your local Dan Murphy's, when you go to your local, what they call a Zadruga, and you buy a bottle of wine, it was 6 kuna. The mineral water was 7.
Yeah, there you go.
And you mix that shit up out the front there because you got to buy the bottle otherwise. You have to drink it on the premises, or you've got to pay for the bottle. So we drink it on the premises. We do like spill out half the mineral water into another bottle and do a mix and shit gemished. This was cat piece.
Yeah.
Ali, I'll tell you now, 3 days, Jure, the Graši, whatever the hell it was, best wine I've ever drank.
Especially after the second liter. But there's some fantastic things on offering. So if any of you going overseas this year, there are 2 really good resources for you to have a look at for places that you can go to. I gotta go. Things closer to home. This is one thing. So you're talking about your $16. Was it $16.90 or $16.10?
$16.90.
Oh, $16.90. Okay, sorry, I thought it was $16.10. Sorry, okay. So 16.
I'll bring the receipts, Bulge. I'll bring the receipts.
$16.90. Okay, so it was $3.10.
Total earnings.
I stand corrected there.
Flying. So $3.10. So I need probably another 8,000 streams.
That's right. But one of the things, so we went over to Perth, as you know, for New Year's, and we hadn't played New Year's for 14 years. And it took like a trip to Perth to motivate some of the boys in the band to play New Year's. And we went over there, and it was amazing as always. But we went to Margaret River as well. If anyone goes down over to Perth, make sure you go down to Margaret River. There's some awesome places. But one winery, actually, again, I'm on the fucking topic. Varse Felix or something. Every wine we tried there, I tried about 10 of them. All of them were outstanding. Went to lots of other wineries too, but Varse Felix was a standout. And also food-wise, there was a brewery, which we didn't even try the beer there, but the food was amazing. Wild Hop Brewery. Go there. There was some chicken. The corn was amazing in the pork ribs. But anyway, we went over there. Amazing night. And like I said, like you go over there, it's the closest thing to sort of you going to Dalmatia because the weather, the people there, everything. You get that feeling. Anyway, the next day, we've celebrated this wonderful New Year's. I've gone to the Slisco Disco.
Oh,
all right. I don't know if you've heard of that. I don't know if you've heard of that. The Slisco Disco, which was a party in itself, 1st of January. We'd gone there, and Luka Ravlic jumps on me, and he says, "You know what? Now they said 7,500 listens at that point." He goes, "I reckon I've given it 7,000 listens
at least."
And you know what? I believed him. And you know the passion from that bloke. He was willing to do things to you that you haven't even thought about doing the Rose for 20 years. It was.
I did get the call. I did get the video call. I think I haven't shared it with anybody, but I remember at one stage I go, "This is gold. I need to save this." And I think I've recorded some of the conversation that we had.
There was but the passion.
Absolute gold. Saying every word. He goes, "Spolek, man, I've played this. If you make $16.90, thanks. He's $13.60.
It's him. Yeah,
he's here. So are you?
You owe him a pint
of water for $13 there. What did they do?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looked like a massive after party, man.
Oh, it was good.
I don't think. Did you sleep? Or did any of you sleep? I've seen a few other boys, Adrian, and I've seen.
No, we didn't sleep. I got in trouble that day because I was playing volleyball with girls in G-strings, but we're not going to talk about that too much. But anyway, it was a wonderful party, and we enjoyed ourselves.
Looked like a massive New Year's Eve as well. Yeah, huge.
It was sold out. Great night, like every other night, like every other time.
Bila Noć has been.
Bila Noć has been. I think Prva Liga
played that one.
Would have been a success, I'm sure.
Looked pretty good on online as well.
Yeah, so I mean, crazy. We did on the 3rd or the 4th of January a acoustic night there at Western Nights. That was
Nashville,
arguably as good as New Year's was. You know, just the feeling there, everyone getting in amongst it, it was just
the community, the Perth Crows in Perth.
Oh, they're next level. There's something about them,
and Western Knights are doing really well at the moment as well. They are smacking. I think they might have had a draw last week or something, a bit of a hiccup, but I think they've been winning, as have the Raiders in South Australia.
They're second on the ladder at the moment, Western Knights.
Yeah.
As are the Gold Coast Knights.
Yeah. Raiders, how they won again? They smacked somebody this weekend, didn't they?
Oh, they did. They played,
but they lost.
Atletico, and there was these kids there on the key. Atletico, but they smashed them 5-0. They had so second on the ladder had a bit of just a hiccup there in the first round, but second on the ladder doing very well, and so far, City United we spoke of, Hurstville we
7
spoke
from 7.
of. Yeah. Knights we haven't spoken about a bit. The feeling's been good. There. We played our good friends over from
east of the river.
In more ways than one. Yeah. What a crazy, beautiful night. There would have been, look, Viesnik reported 1,800 people, arguably 2,000 people. Preston, if we were Preston Macedonia, there were 7,000 people there.
If it was South Melbourne, I think there was 76,000 record NPL attendance ever recorded. I think 76,000 people. Yeah. If it was on Bob Jane.
Yeah, it was incredible. The biggest most attended game in the history of football.
Oceania crowd of the century it would have been. Just like their crowds now they're getting against Solomon Islands Knights FC. every Wednesday night when they're playing in the Pacific. What is that shit even called? Champions League or something?
Go down there shittily. But look, Strathmore was doing well. They
yeah.
had some hard-fought draws in Solomon Islands, so it's all worthwhile.
I think the goal against Vanuatu Raiders was offside. Who's ti prasicu I Australian team of the century? Vi nemate ni za nosom brisat, you hacks.
Yeah.
Oh
anyway.
my god! But what a go! I could have. I was just absolutely cooked. The kids went. They loved every second of it. No, to the Melbourne Crusher, Melbourne Serbia game, and that looked like an absolute festival.
Like that, it was, you know. And what actually one of the most beautiful things was on the other outer underneath the camera, there would have been. Look, it's hard to sort of gauge 500-600 kids, but that was literally half full.
Yeah.
Like just full of kids, and kids, you know, like you're saying, like 25,
the footage,
25 and
there
under,
was that
just chanting, and it was
unfortunate incident of that fence obviously collapsing. But yeah, that was just exuberance, win, scoring a goal.
Yeah.
Luka Corliss running over to the fence, and the fence collapses. Obviously, that can happen everywhere.
And what a goal!
It wasn't
I
Heysel.
actually got that goal.
It wasn't fucking Heysel, Juventus versus Liverpool. This is just a fucking ordinary cyclone fence that tipped over Mully. Somebody did get injured, fair enough. But that footage from that push of people when we scored that goal,
viral.
It went viral. That was all over the world, man. Ultras this, Ultras World, Vamo Tamo, Crow News, Crow TV. And it just looked, I'll tell you what, if you weren't at the game and you just saw that footage, because it barely even gets, you can't even see the grandstand in the background. You think there was 50,000 people at that game.
Look, it was. Look, see, you can easily say, look, Melbourne Knight Stadium's a huge ground. Tomset Stadium, whatever you want to call it. It's a huge ground. So any other ground in the league's going to look like it's packed. You know, you got a Connor Reserve. That amount of people at Connor Reserve is going to look packed because it's a much, much bigger ground than Connor Reserve is. You know, so look, it was. But watching those kids out there, and they're all chanting and they're getting into it. But not only that, the behaviour. No stupidity, you know. They were chanting. They came next day cleaned up after themselves. They ran the bar for themselves. They raised thousands of dollars there just at that bar themselves, without trying to get anyone else to coach them. That's that renaissance we're talking about. There's kids that are coming in. There's kids there, and we've talked about we should have a bigger crowd than ever before. Well, there was kids there on that outer, and apparently they were talking about saying, I don't really speak Croatian. I wish I spoke Croatian. Now they're 18, 19, 20 years old, wishing that they did, because they're coming back. They're seeing that way, how much
exactly. The Brunswick game the week after. Yeah, was it the week after? We beat Brunswick Juventus 1-0 over there at CB Smith Reserve in Faulkner. If you watch the footage, you see that a wheelie bin is being used as a drum.
That's right. Yeah.
In front of the wheelie bin is a whole big bunch of rubbish that was tipped out of the bin so that a particular character could play drums. Great. That rubbish was collected after the game.
That's right.
Brunswick Juventus actually made a social media post commending our supporters for cleaning up their mess. And I heard about it at work on Monday or Tuesday. Some Talian whose kid plays at Brunswick Juventus told me about this. I didn't see it he saw it on social media. He told me about it. He's telling me, barely know this bloke from Borough Soap, the kids on the hill, or the people on the hill that were cheering, chanting, banging on the drum, tipped out the rubbish, picked up the rubbish before they left. That's what you want to hear. That's a good news story.
It is.
You know what I mean? That's when you come to work and some random jabo goes to you, listen, you tipped over a bin, you cleaned it up. That's fantastic. It's cultura. Because we are kulturni narod when we want to be. Because we are. And there you go.
But that's the thing. Like these kids, they're coming, they're a different generation, but I don't know if they've been taught right. I don't know. Did our generation teach them right? I don't know, whatever happened. But these kids are coming in and they're cleaning up after themselves.
Yeah.
And this is not to say that anyone's going to run over them, because you still don't want to mess with these guys. They're all bloody huge guys, you know what I mean? But they're doing the right thing. They're not, you know, they're not looking for whatever, but, you know, like it's just, they're there to support the club. Even they had this big black banner, and the banner was, I don't know, 30 meters long, 25, 30 meters long. And they're holding this before the teams come out. And I'm on the other side there, and I'm watching them going, oh my God. I was saying, there's a black banner. What's it going to say? Here we go. Oh, my heavy points are going to lose. What kind of fine are we going to get? What's going to happen? This is going to be the new Jasenovac. There was fucking 300,000 people that were slaughtered here at the ground and whatever.
There was at least 2 million Serbs at the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, and I'm looking, and then all of a sudden the banner unveils, It just says Melbourne, Croatia above all of a group, and I go,
America.
America.
I heard.
I like, you just go like, how smart are they?
I heard from another source, again, neutral source, who was in the grandstand and saw a bin being tipped over in the away end because he had maybe 10 or 15 of these young opposition fans.
Yeah.
Bin was tipped over and apparently a couple
Croatian
of sticks.
Orthodox.
Yes, so Croatian
Okay,
Orthodox. Took out a couple of sticks or poles or whatever might have been found in his bin and was apparently, this is again secondhand information, waving it and like pointing and going, we'll do whatever. And apparently one of their own Croatian Orthodox brothers, older gentleman, grabbed this guy by the neck, back the neck, the young kid, and he goes, "What the hell? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Look across there and look here. What are you normal or what are you doing?" And that was nipped in the bud. Hopefully, they had some common sense amongst themselves.
They did. Apparently,
there must have been a crow amongst them.
No. From all reports, the administration, whatever you want to say, the committee, I don't know, whoever's there in charge of that club, did the right thing. And Knights and the Knights committee did everything right by their team.
Plenty
fed, everything was done. You know what? It was actually a perfect example of how everyone can coexist and just live like normal human beings.
Follow Bogle.
And follow Bogle. They got their ideas of what's right. We got ours of what and our perspective of history, and they've got their.
We're not going to change it.
Their delusions of history. Let's say, but it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? The thing is that you coexist and you move on. And I was so proud of our fans that day. I've seen our fans do really stupid shit before, but that night in particular, I was so proud of. And the kids set an example.
That's right. It was the kids.
That's
right. The push has gone backwards.
Yeah, I've headbutted that.
I think the push has got something to do with the internet here. and the camera.
But anyway, there's something's up. It was an incredible evening, an incredible turnout, an incredible result. Okay, things didn't go our way against Bulleen, but easily could have. But
look, big game this weekend, mate. Big weekend.
Northcote City, anything can happen.
Knights, Northcote City. Knights now are in a lower league than what they've become accustomed to for many, many years, but still, again, you want to get back up, you got to beat Northcote City.
You have to.
It's a home game. You got to beat these guys. You got to come back
Prove
to 3
yourself.
points. If you had a 1 on Saturday, you're still within 3. You might go top or at least second on equal points. Either way, get down, support the club. It was also fantastic to see that the Dynamo boys working the grill at Melbourne Croatia, Melbourne Knights,
That was
Melbourne
huge.
Serbia.
Absolutely.
Game. Yeah,
huge.
how heartwarming that sort of shit is as well.
That was absolutely.
You jump
huge.
online, you see there's Robbie, Dalmatian Spit and Grill. Here we are, Melbourne Croatia, Melbourne Knights. Game's being played, and you look in the background, there's guys in Dynamo polos and jerseys cooking the barbie. Again, when the community, like you said, we are a community. When we work together, we take the absolute piss. Ali, we can be governor.
No, but that's
more
incredible.
often than not these days. Last night there, I was one of the last men standing at the at Dynamo after the game. I don't know how or why. And the 3 Sunshine Priests rocked up.
Yeah.
So Don Tomo, and I didn't realise. I'm talking to him. I didn't realise it was Don Ivan Matijevic who we interviewed
Yes,
here
that's
prior
right.
to his departure.
That's
He's
right.
there.
That's right.
Except his hair is now. It is huge. He has got this lock of hair, and I'm talking to him, and he's got a bit of a beard, whatever, or he's shaven, or something was not right about him, and then I realised, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm making a bit of a fool of myself here, and I go, that's Don Eva. So he's back, and there was a third guy as well. So there was a third one. I think it was from Rama, maybe. I didn't quite catch his name, but they again. You got the church coming to a soccer club, the soccer club helping out another soccer club. You got, and again, for those of you that are radio listeners, still a lot of kids these days is all Instagram and podcasts and bullshit. But jump onto 3ZZZ, Hrvati Zajedno, whatever it might be, pro radio shows and that. However, the ones that we know and respect, Ante Radic and these guys, they've been doing that for years, since 1989.
And they keep doing it. They keep doing it. I'm sure they get hamstrung.
Help them out, even if you don't listen when they have their radio ton and they ask for $20 or $50 donation just to keep them going, mate. Chuck a couple of dollars their way. Speak to your folks. They listen. My parents every year they buy membership for 3ZZZ and they send money in that radio ton or whatever it is. Yeah, because they love it. Sunday nights. What else are you going to do? Listen to the Hrvatski program. Ante Radic and the boys and the girls, mate. Fantastic. And then you got as well in Sydney and all over the place. There's things happening. Get behind it. Get involved.
100% get behind it. But like you said, that Dynamo thing, that's a perfect example. When they were cooking there at the Knights was incredible. And then you brought up Don Tormo. It was the first home game at Knights. I think, against Melbourne Victory.
Yes.
He came and blessed the ground. Mate, that microphone couldn't have been louder. And he's come out, blessed the ground, Moliti Ochenash, that your ears hurt. It was incredible. I think the Melbourne Victory fans were just in shock of what was happening there. But I thought, you know what? That's what it is. And now that even you got Divine Mercy that's sponsoring the club.
Yes.
And there's a massive picture now of Isus there at the back on the, what they call those airport signs. Like you go, this is what we're about.
Mark Wolskog shared that on his socials. That's where I saw that. And I saw it obviously last couple of games that I've been to as well. But another one there. Did you catch up with the English guy who was a big Leeds United fan and was at the game?
I did.
APH Side Quest. Is that what it's called or something like that?
He's got like a YouTube page or whatever, but he's
Troy,
come down.
whatever his name is.
Massive Leeds fan, and apparently I heard he lives in Geelong. We might even get him on the show one day. You never know. But he comes down. He goes, "I'm going to go on I've been to A-League games, and if it wasn't for the drums, I would have fallen asleep because there was no passion there." He goes, "I want to go and I want to experience real football, grassroots football." And he's come to the game, and the line of the whole thing, like he's come into the ground, and the thing goes for 15, 20 minutes or whatever it is, his vlog. But he goes, "I've entered this ground as a Mark Viduka fan because he's a massive Leeds fan, loves, worships Mark Viduka. I've come in here as a Mark Viduka fan. I've left as a Melbourne Knights fan." And he did. He bought like a Melbourne Knights jersey. He's holding the group like this. He's going, "This is a real club." He was even there chanting Croats. But he got it there. Marko Bulic, of course, he got involved. He was
Nick
there.
Kraljevic, you spoke to him.
It was such a great video. But what an advertisement for the club, and not just for the club, for our whole community.
Exactly.
And I'm sure he's going to make his way out to Dinamo and North.
I think
Geelong.
he was at Preston. Was he at Preston now? Saying he was talking about a boycott of fans.
Yeah,
I'm
the Preston boys have
Preston.
boycotted. Yeah,
I'm assuming that was about Preston, but it wouldn't quite have been that if there is a boycott going on. Fair enough, but with the Knights, what a game to choose to go to.
Oh, it was fantastic.
You know, for him,
there was so much goodwill there, and he felt it. And he left there. He was maggoted. But he goes, you know, when you leave somewhere like this and you're feeling like, you've been welcomed, that this is a community club. And he loved it. And he then you get some negative, and that's what you're talking about before with the Sigurčić whole thing. Someone's going to bring up, the nationalism, Croatia and this and that. I had to comment. I don't usually comment on, anything on social media, but I had to. I go, "Fuck you talking about, dickhead." This guy's just actually talked about how welcomed he felt, regardless of what the background of the club was, and you're there talking about nationalism or overt nationalism and whatever. Like,
you know what? These pink-haired dingbats, don't worry about them, man. We've had enough. I think the Australian people have had enough. I think we even saw in South Australia now some of the election results, etc., is shaking a few people up in this country and probably in this state as well. Because I tell you what, they've taken Muller a bit too much liberty to go do what they want to do, and they've pushed people like us off. Yudniks to the side, and it's time for us to start coming back. But there was another one as well. Jesus, what was I going to say now? With this Leeds guy.
Yeah.
What else did he mention? Okay, deals. Look, it was interesting. Also, just through his journey through the ground and all that sort of stuff, there were a few things in there.
They didn't film like the boys across the road on the other side of the ground. They film us. We're a bit paranoid, but that's with reason, because every time anyone's filming, you chanted this, you chanted that, which I'm wrapped at the back door chants come back from Dinamo. Anyway, we won't delve into that. But anyway, they talk about. He goes, "You can join us, have a drink with us, but don't film us, because we don't know where you're going to share this, because lose points or the club's going to."
There's another guy now going around doing old grounds. He went to Schindler Reserve. Did you see that one? He got shouted at by a security guard. He went to the old Footscray Just home ground, and he couldn't get in.
That guy, that dude, yes,
some sort of federal bloody.
He's like a Carlton supporter or something.
Yeah, just some yudnik out of nowhere and turned up doing his blog. Fair enough, good on him. But these sorts of things, I don't know what following this bloke has got, but anything that's done from outside, like some people say, Klapa Samoana.
Yeah.
They see it as a negative thing. Što će ovaj sada neki Mary or whatever, pivat naše pjesme and whatever. I think it's a great advertisement for our narod.
Why not?
He's singing our songs.
Yeah.
He's not singing some.
Right.
He's come there, learnt our, obviously in New Zealand still before, there's Samoan boys living in New Zealand, learnt our music, learnt our songs, gone back, made a little bit of a name for themselves. For whatever reason, Ali, I'll tell you what, that's another tick.
It means there's
You
a
need
reason
to-
to buy into it.
You need to self-promote, because if you don't do it, no one's going to do it for you.
That's right.
You reckon someone's going to say, "Oh, crows are the best nut in the world," and we're Nico and Nishta unless we do it ourselves. Same as these YouTube things you're talking about, the vino, the food, the whatever. If we don't follow these things, we don't watch it, we don't share it. We need to get it out there. We need to make
We have to.
as much noise as we possibly can here and overseas and wherever we possibly can.
Yeah, we talk about like all the struggles we had during the 60s, 70s, 80s, and everything, and that's all legitimate. No, I'm not taking away from that. But that's happened. We've won that battle. Don't have to talk about that sort of shit that happened in the 70s anymore. Like, it does come up, and we can still battle that. But we've got other battles to come across. Like now, like let's promote our culture, promote what's good about us, promote our food, promote our anything, promote our music, promote our art, promote whatever
Our
it is.
businesses,
Our businesses.
our people,
There's revolutionary things happening in Croatia with business, like the Rimac automobili. This can be something that's going to change the whole automobile business.
and they're positive things.
Yeah.
On the negative side, our neighbours have been selling drones and shit to the Ukraine that are bombing the Russians, with whom they are brothers. You seen that? $1 billion deal was done on drones and weapons and whatever coming from Belgrade over to the Ukraine, while at the same time he's in Moscow kissing Putin and saying we're brothers, we're Orthodox brothers, blah, 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 but selling weapons to the Ukrainians who are killing Russians. And we don't need that sort of Byzantine politics, Machiavellian bullshit. We're not like that. Get it out, make it a positive statement in the community here and overseas, because like I said, man, this bullshit about this Segacic, we need to tell people, mate, we love this. We love this country more than anyone. Yeah.
I think so. I think our impact on this country has been more positive, overwhelmingly positive.
We've got a senator, for Christ's sake, in there, Marija Kovacic, sitting in the federal parliament, Senate, than we have in the past.
The Cheshire, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's right, Zed Sheshelia. We've had Natasha Stott-Despoja.
Yeah, that's right.
Was she particularly involved in the community? Maybe not so much.
Doesn't
But
matter,
her
her
old man,
father was.
her old man was a freaking ambassador to an embassy that didn't exist as a country.
Right.
We've done the coat of arms of this country, for Christ's sakes, was
Invincible Boy Cry. That's
exactly.
right. Winemaker.
A winemaker, Excelsior Wines, man. Trojan Drvenica. Jesus Christ. And me and Isma Nishta. We've got Victoria Cross recipients who died in fucking Yoshin World War I and shit. And we get very, very little credit as an artist in this country. But suited and booted, that's one that I forgot to mention.
Oh, yes. How good was that?
If anybody watched the video footage and the social media, there's
that double header.
there's a mob here in Victoria called Suited and Booted. I don't know what that main guy, Jerome, I don't know what national. He's always wearing Northcote City or Brunswick City. Is it Kirk?
I'm guessing he's Kirk.
But and the other two boys that look like brothers, I've never known. They came out to dinner, they were there early. They went to Slavonia Butchers first. They met there with Tina Bulic in the morning. Did you see the footage? They're looking through all the meso. Ilya Dragicic from Dinamo pops out from behind the back. They're really slick operation, these guys. They had a number of people there helping out with footage and cameras. Then they came to Dinamo. They were there for the Knights North Geelong game. Knights North, yeah. And then the Dinamo Dandy game. But that's Jerome guy, so Mile Bulic, if everyone knows Mile, you'd know his old man, Marko Bulic, who's the bloke that had that duck, goose, whatever you want to call it, at Crow tournaments.
And he was Mark Viduka's taxi driver.
Taxi driver for Mark Viduka, but also he used to bring that Guska Patka, whatever it was, with the checkers and stuff on it.
That's right.
Mila's his son, Slavonia Butchers, obviously himself and Tina. Mila's got his usual tray of shots, gives one to Jerome. Živeli. All right, these guys, Živeli, yes. And they have one shot. Mila gives him a second one. And he's already coughing, Has a second one. He hasn't even put the second one down. He has a third. This bloke, I didn't see him at the end of the day. He must have been absolutely mangled.
He was.
He was doing shots in the cool room. He was doing shots upstairs in the VIP lounge. He was doing shots with Mila. I don't know how this bloke walked out of there at the end of the day, yeah? We did a halftime thing when they had the kids' crossbar challenge. I was out there with them and that, but my goodness, I don't think these guys have experienced anything. They've been everywhere. They've been Preston, Bentley, Greek clubs, Crow clubs, Albanians, whatever. I don't think they've ever doživjeli anything like what they did at Dinamo that day.
I love when he came and they had the roll there, and he goes, "This is probably the best piece of chicken I've had in my life." And he goes, "I'm not lying. I swear to God, this is the best piece of chicken I've ever had."
It was beef. Yeah, jump on if you haven't watched it. Suited and booted. I know very little about these guys as people. I know one of them played at some high level, A-League or whatever it might have been, or something. But they're quite funny. They're not shy to go controversial, have topics and talk about things that are probably not to the liking of the authorities, and that's what I like. Say it like it is, man. Bring it out. Say it. Ako ne valja, ne valja.
That's right.
Ako valja, valja. If not, if you don't agree, come on, tell me a different story.
But these are the kind of guys that are neutral guys that are coming out and saying A-League's struggling. We need these traditional clubs. You need your Greek clubs, your Croatian clubs, or whatever. You know, it's proven. You know, they've always pushed us by the wayside, but I was always open. It didn't matter. You know what, Perth Glory got more fans back in the NSL than they got at any time during the A-League.
Because that's what it is. It's this country, for some reason, soccer's about crowds, not about soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter how good you are. Nah, we for marketing purposes, Foxtel, Stan and that, they'd rather have a Auckland Phoenix or whatever the hell they're called than a fucking Bentley Greens or something playing the Australia Cup game. Mate, sport is sport. That's why I don't ever. Look, people talk about it never taking off in this country, or never. Soccer will never be the number one sport in Australia for the next 1,000 years.
Yeah, that's right.
1,000 years, never. Sleeping giant, Laco Norch.
No.
This is turn off the machines. He's not getting up.
Forget about
Be
80,000
happy.
people in MCG.
Be happy we are. They got 74,000 for the Matildas in the final. Yeah, great, fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
When Western United played Canberra on Saturday on the ABC in the Women's A-League, there'll be 26 people there. What are you going to shut down the fucking league? You're not going to shut it down because it's all about marketing and shit. It's not about crowds. It's about performance. It's about developing. If those kids develop, they end up playing for the national team. From the national team, they go on and become better players. It's Ali. They do the opposite. It's complete opposite.
But the difference is as well, like you go Greater Western Sydney, they're battling against not only the other 18 or whatever it is AFL clubs and rugby league clubs, rugby union or whatever. What we're dealing with, like a Melbourne Knights, you're not battling against AFL because that's all it is. AFL is just one league.
Yeah,
like, what are you battling with? Williamstown. We're battling against A-League clubs, but also we're actually battling against Liverpool or AC Milan or I don't know, Marseille or, you know, any given European club, because at the click of a button, you can watch Serie A, you can watch the EPL, you can watch the Scottish League, you can watch
snobs, man.
whatever you want. And people are watching because they're snobs, because there's so many leagues. You're battling Champions League. You're battling hundreds of leagues literally around the world because that's what soccer is.
You watch the AFL. That's the best Australian rules footballers in the world.
That's what I'm saying. That's the Champions League.
You turn on the NRL, they're the best rugby league players on earth.
Champions League of rugby.
Cricket, even close. Again, you've got the best cricketers on earth playing your
The
BBL
2020
and
IPL,
bullshit.
whatever.
Yeah. You come NBL too. NBL's the same, exactly the same. Great participation sport. But by the time those blokes I remember the days when you had Leonard Copeland and Scotty Fisher and these guys. That was a different. Yeah, we thought they were fucking, we thought they were Michael Jordan. Now, when they bring out some donkey from the University of Alabama who got fucking sacked by 2 NBA teams because he was Yudnik, who's going to go watch his shit? They'll still get crowds here. There'll be a bump every now and then if the Sydney Kings make the final like they have now or whatever. Ali, we're not watching the best of the best. That's why people will go rather than I'm going to go to sleep early. Instead of watching bloody Melbourne Victory in Phoenix, I want to wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock and watch Genoa play Cremonese because and that's what it is. They can bring in a marquee player who? Juan Mata.
Yeah.
Scored one free kick and it's on the news for 7 days.
So
you have the order.
So you've got to put things in perspective. Where do we stand? Where does the leagues, where's the sport stand? Even if you look back at the NSL, which they always report as being, it died, it was self-inflicted, they fucked it up or whatever, but it's not the truth. It was actually that David Hill came in and he was forcing changes on clubs that they didn't want. So like with us, he was there. You're saying, no, you can't have foreign names. You can't be called Melbourne Croatia, but be called Melbourne Liverpool. Is fucking Liverpool an Australian name or is that an English name? Like it's fucking insane. So one ethnic group's okay, the other ethnic group's not okay. It was insane. But like all because we wore a red color, like it's stupid. But what I'm trying to say, even at the end, at the death of the NSL, South Melbourne was getting decent crowds. We were still getting okay crowds. Sydney Croatia was still getting okay crowds. Sydney Olympic. It was the other clubs Parramatta Powers or your
Northern
fucking
Spirit, the
Northern Spirit,
proper.
they fucked the league up. They were bringing the whole attendance levels down. It wasn't actually the ethnic clubs, even though they try and paint the picture that was the ethnic clubs.
Yeah.
But I think the essence of the game is what it is. It's about being fucking promoted or relegated with, based on your merits.
Yeah.
If you deserve to get fucking demoted, you get demoted. If you're going to get promoted, you get promoted.
You know what the best one was? Is when they go, all right, no more ethnic clubs. So they introduced Melbourne Victory. Their first coach, you can't understand a word he says.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, chum, you can't carve it. Fuck. Captain, match fixer. Navy blue jerseys.
Yeah.
And their fucking theme song is the Scottish national anthem.
Yeah.
It
Scotland the Brave. Scotland the Brave.
Many so actually there's no ethnic clubs. Sydney City,
But that's okay.
Sydney FC, Sydney City. Light blue jerseys, basically
Everything.
reincarnation.
Everything.
Brisbane Raw, Brisbane fucking Lions, orange, Dutch. So TC, nisi ethnic, yes, an ethnic. You know what?
Some ethnics are more equal than others.
Who watches that shit anyway, man? That is absolute garbage.
It's like Animal Farm, yeah?
It is
You know?
absolute garbage. And we're not the sort of
Some animals are more.
We don't like playing the victim because we are a Nara, the very proud Nara. We are never.
No,
a
but
victim.
you know what? But time,
Ali, that is absolute garbage.
Yeah, as they say, time will tell, and time has told. It's been now what 20? No, it's actually been 30 years. No, sorry, no, 20 years. Sorry, take it back.
The only
20 years since
successful-
the whole league started.
The only successful club, really, that you could see crowd-wise that they would, what they were hoping for on paper was Western Sydney Wanderers, 30,000 people, colour, fucking choreography, all that shit. Those are all wogs.
That's right.
Even his Victory and his Melbourne, it's all wogs.
They're just
anyway.
hungry for football. That's all.
They're just wogs anyway, man. Those ones who used to support Melbourne, Croatia, Hellas, or whatever, they've ended up going over to Victory, and then City came, some of them jumped ship, because there might have been a Crow coach or some connection or whatever. I mean, it's all wogs anyway, mate. They did not change the demographic whatsoever. They put a club out in Tarneet. Tarneet, where the number one sport for the next 1,000 years will be cricket. And that wrestling.
Anyone that's not from Melbourne, Tarneet, I think 90+% of the people that live there come from the subcontinent.
That's right.
Nothing against those people, but
the only other sport that will take off there is when they get those two fat blokes like me that oil each other up in the piazza, and they wrestle, or two blokes on a horse.
They had that nice stadium once. That sport. What was it called?
I don't even know what it's called. That master wrestling.
Yeah.
Or the one where, like in Rambo 3, I think it is, where he's on the horse and he picks up the goat. Yeah, that one where Rambo's on the horse in Afghanistan fighting the fucking Russians. And he's on the horse and he's got to pick up that dead goat and put it in the other. It's like polo, but with a dead goat. That would be
more practical.
That would get ratings through the roof on Pokoni Optus.
Yeah.
It's I haven't read any of the comments on YouTube.
No, that is I think people are just sort of echoing more or less what we're saying.
Echoing what everyone else is saying. Turn his shit off. You ate the lech. No.
I saw a bunch of comments telling him to go to the Crow Club games. I hope he does. Oh, that was the other Pommy guy. Yeah. Peter Finger, great idea. Yep, I'm sure he did. Big market.
Peter Finker also asked the question, what actually happened with the AFL team of the century that we discussed?
I think that's still in a work in progress. But
I think it's not a small project. If it does happen, there's probably plenty of, I reckon, historical analysis in these, because there's Crows that played, or people of Crow descendants that may not have, that are in there that we don't even know about. Yeah. We know the ones that got the names. You got the Martiches, the Stephen Jerikas, the Ray Gabaliches or whatever. There might be some that's grandmother. Like Lou Richards is captain of the fucking Greek team of the century. Lou Richards, Louis the Lip.
Yeah, he's from Leading.
He's where he was. I think they call it Florina, the Oh man, the discussions I have at work with the Massos and the Greeks, mate, it's eye opener. Yeah, because I'm telling Marco the other day, driving down Cheddar Road in Thomastown. On the right hand side, you got Keon Park, which wears yellow and black like Ayak Athens. Yeah. And on the other side, you've got Plenty Valley Leading.
Yeah, Leading. Yeah.
They used to be Laylaw City. You got Laylaw City, Florina, which is the counterpart of Plenty Valley Leading. And then you've also got Laylaw Slaughter. And then you got Sydenham Park, and they had a big, massive Masso. There was a big Masso derby this weekend. I reckon over 1,000 people. And Sydenham Park against Laylaw Slaughter.
Yeah, and Laylaw Slaughter actually won. They're talking about our work. That's
We're
what they
young
work. The
our
masses
own.
at work we're talking about, and they were speaking about sloggers having a bit of their renaissance of their own.
Exactly. Nikola Markovsky, former TD at St Albans Dynamo and coaching Slogger. And Mate Duganjic, formerly of Melbourne Knights,
Yeah.
St Albans Dynamo, also Melbourne Victory, coaching Sydenham Park.
That's right.
So Crows are at every level in this country. We are involved in football. In football. Da nema nas, nema ništa. Yeah?
That's true.
And then they find this one little dlaku jaje, bloody Segičić, to bag us for that. They couldn't wait to find
that's
something.
the thing. So after everything that you contribute, everything like the successes that you've had as clubs, successes that you've had, like bringing up players in this country, that's what they do. Yeah, to jump on that. But actually, on the way here, Petr Finka, though, you just reminded me, I was driving here and I saw a big truck go past me, Shepparton, and it said Sarli and Sons. I go, that's a sign. Sarli and Sons, it said on the back of it, Shepparton. I go, I'm heading in the right direction. This is where I'm supposed to be today. So that was.
Ali, but you know what the worst thing is? The ones I was at the 2000s, I'll talk about this every day till I them myself. 2006 World Cup.
Yes.
Yeah, on a train, whatever it was, monorail in Stuttgart. I'm already mangled. I lost my entourage. I don't know where I'm going.
Something different.
I'm doing loops. I'm doing loops in this underground subway pit. I ended up at someone. I think it was a Dražen Zečić. And of all people, when I walked into this concert, finally, Ante Stippa was at the bar when I'm ordering a mineral water to sober up. Anyway, the ones in the bus, in the train.
But the mineral water broke you back. Oh. You know, you couldn't afford the mineral water.
I should have gone shots of Blue Label. Yeah, it would be cheaper. And the ones on the train that were hammering me for wearing a crow top and speaking, obviously, hey, boys, how you going? Were not even soccer people. They'd never been to a match in their lives. They didn't watch the old NSL. They're not watching the new A-League.
That's right.
They were just those bullshit fanatics like Trump and these other blantos.
They're wearing rugby tops. Rugby tops. They're not even wearing Socceroo tops. They're wearing rugby tops.
Absolute rubbish of our society. Only men settle about soccer and my loyalties and where they lie and whatever. I sang both anthems. I was singing both the Australian and Croatian anthems. Cried because it was the greatest day of my life. Watching the country that I was born in qualify after 32 years and play in a World Cup. And then watching a country that up until that point I was how old? 20 fucking 2, that I never thought we'd have a fucking country that my parents fled from. Di bolje. I on mi je tamo jebe u zdrav mozak. Ga nećeš he's now watching Big Bash. I remember exactly who they were, man. I'll probably recognize him tomorrow if I saw him in the city.
That's the whole
absolute
thing. Like,
garbage.
Rightly or wrongly, like I remember trying to going into that game, I thought, it doesn't matter, I can't lose. You know, you've got, Australia. If Australia goes through, no worries. I win. If Croatia wins, I win. And I thought, no worries, doesn't matter. But as I watched that game, and I watched who was supporting the Socceroos, and my heart sank, and I was heartbroken at the end of that game. Yeah. And even though they go, oh, look what happened in 2006, like they smashed us, it was a 2-2 draw, by the way. It was just the other games that came in the way. But anyway, 2-2 draw, and I thought Croatia didn't make it. These people are heartbroken. All the Croats that were there were heartbroken. These dickheads in fucking rugby tops and that, singing and dancing up and down. They couldn't give a fuck about the game. They couldn't give a fuck about the players that were playing there. And that's when I'll go, you know what? This is where my allegiance lies, rightly or wrongly, but that's the way I see it. You can
love the
that anyway.
Love the Matildas.
Yeah, I'm not bagging it. But
the Hockey Roos and the whatever else. What else we got here? Whatever their nicknames are. Sve volim. The Socceroos nekako, just like that cricket team with Michael Clark remember Michael? Did I tell that story? I probably told it 100 times on his show already. When Michael Clark was going out with Lara Bingle, he was captain of Australia. They played a test match. I think it might have been in Sydney or wherever it was. His vice captain was in New South Wales at the time, was Simon Kadich.
Yes.
Good crow bloke.
Yes, yep.
Simon Kadich.
Yep.
And Michael Clark comes into the dressing rooms after they've beaten England or whoever it was in some Ashes game. And the tradition with Australia is that you have to stay in the dressing room. Obviously, you've got to drink Crownies.
Yes, I know.
Not they have Crownies. They've got to sing the song. Under the Southern Cross, we stand, blah, blah, blah. Regardless of what your other commitments are, you need to stay. The tradition for 100 years in the Australian team is fucking stay in the dressing room, sing the song, and then you can piss off with Lara Bingle or Kim Kardashian or whatever you want to do. This evening, I think Clark might have been vice captain or captain. I don't remember. He said, I've got to go to a movie premiere with Lara Bingle in King's Cross. I reckon Simon Kadich jumped. His vice captain in the New South Wales Sheffield Shield jumped, grabbed him by the throat, nearly choked him to death.
Yep.
You will stay and you will sing this song. Hrvat grabbing Michael Clark, who had his diamond earrings already ready to go and cufflinks or whatever. Hrvat was the one
And who
that
history
defended the
remember?
tradition of the Australian cricket team. Yeah.
And who's
Exactly.
and who's history going to remember?
Michael Clark.
Michael Clark or
Because
something?
Lara Bingle threw his engagement ring down the toilet.
Yeah, exactly.
Kadich was old school. Ali Abigail. It was Nashchovich. Lenny Pascoe. How many crows, man?
Lenny Pascoe, that's right.
He's a crow. That's not his real name. He's obviously some Bogdanovich or whatever his surname is. He's Hrvat. We have permeated every pore of this country from the day that we got here. Now, our parents came in the later 60s, 70s, but the ones that came even earlier than us, 1800s, they still left their mark on this country. And we, look, again, we're not the victim, but we know what we've done.
No.
And it'll one day they will realise what we have done. They, whoever they are.
Yeah. But the point of the story is that
these
we've got
pig
nothing
head-
to be ashamed of.
Never be ashamed. Nothing. No regrets, man.
Yeah.
Spell it wrong, doesn't matter. Like, what's that movie? No regrets. He's got to Never
That's
knows.
right, that's right.
No regrets.
That's right.
We do what we do. We do it for a reason. We have our particular insignia and badges and flags, etc., that we carry. We have. Here we go. That's who we are.
Big apologies as well to North Geelong. We haven't even talked about North Geelong.
Oh.
They're on the same amount of points as Knights are, so they're doing quite
12
well.
and 12.
One that 12 and 12.
An away win on the
Also-
weekend.
And on the was that away?
Away,
or
2-0.
Oh, okay, well that was away. Okay, but anyway, they got 12 points. Also, I think they got a Fischler this weekend. on the
26th.
So make sure you get out there as well. So we don't want to forget everyone there in Geelong.
28th of
will
March,
be-
2026.
Big supporters of our program as well. So thank you to them.
This Saturday.
Make sure, get behind it. Like North Geelong, the club needs everybody there as well.
Exactly
The
right.
big community down there
They're
in Geelong.
just
Make sure you get behind it.
they've just been promoted and they're
yeah.
holding their own.
Yeah. And that's with every club in Australia. Leave any personal gripes you got behind and get behind the actual club. Do what's right for the community, do what's right for the club. I don't give a fuck who's right or wrong. Not debating that. Just do what's right for the clubs, do what's right for the community. That's it. Simple as that.
Follow the ball.
Yeah.
That's how we've survived for this long. Did I leave out any other flyers? Let me just check. Done the Brisbane, done the Sinovi Herzegovina.
We're going to have a very sort of heavy Sydney-centric kind of program tonight. But we had a lot of pulling out for
Yeah,
the Sydney there. Like
but we'll get there.
as Hutcho said, you had your chance, shit your pants. But like they'll have their chance again. We're going to talk about Boston Club in the near future as well. Boston Club's been a big red hot topic in the community, and we'll get word from the horse's mouth.
Correct.
Yeah, and we'll hear everything, and you'll get your opportunity as a community to ask Adam Glavash all the questions that you want to ask him. Rightly or wrongly, or be as harsh as you want to. It doesn't really matter. He invited that when he spoke to us, when he wants to come on the program, and he'll be on the program in about a month or so. So, get ready for any sort of questions you got there. And we've got lots of other things coming up as well.
Hopefully next week we'll have, if all works out, we're looking at the 30th, which is a Monday, but we're probably not going to be able to do a Monday next week. So the 29th, if we can get Puerto Liga on, not only talk about their gigs that are coming up, but also that they're big. They did, what was it, New Year's in Canada.
Canada, that's right.
So this was a massive thing for a band from Australia. They actually did a concert New Year's Eve in Canada. So and some of the social media stuff where they're in a pool and it's minus 20 degrees and shit looked absolutely amazing. So get their take on that really intrigues me. The American Crow community, yes. The Canadian community, the Crow community, really intrigues me. That I think that they are the most similar to us than any other community on earth.
I think Americans went there earlier, so they're maybe a generation or two in front of us or older than us. Went to America like a lot earlier than what people went to.
And I
Canada
think the
and
assimilation in America is a lot more. You need to. There's no multiculturalism in America. Yeah, you've got to oath of allegiance in the morning every day at school, and it's like a chast, yeah?
Yeah.
Canada, like Australia, a little bit more relaxed and allowed, thankfully, for people like us.
They've got as many green-head people over there as we do.
Oh,
here as well.
they've maybe got more
Yeah.
than us. But at least that country in the old days, they allowed us to come in and to do what we want to do as an adult and celebrate and have our clubs and churches and do whatever else that we weren't allowed to do back home. So
We talked about Metros Croatia as well, and their influence back in the 70s and
Exactly.
during the National American Soccer League or whatever it was called at that time. But that's a big thing talking about New Year's. From a personal level as well, I have to say, we spoke to some people from Canada, and we were toying with the idea of going over to Canada and playing a New Year's Eve gig ourselves.
yeah, the bass player.
A
Because
little
then
bit of
Cardum's
Well, but in the
probably having another
meantime,
kid. So
in the meantime, we had some discussions, and as nice as that would have been, and we decided against it because we've been talking about the Renaissance here in Melbourne, and so we're talking about New Year's Eve here in Melbourne. We haven't played one for 14 years at all. We didn't. We haven't. So in Melbourne, we haven't played
Jeez,
for one
what's that?
for 16, 17 years.
2000 and what? What's the last New Year's that you played?
We played in Adelaide in 2012 or something like 2011. Last time we played in Melbourne, 2009, maybe something like that.
I reckon the last New Year's I went to a crow function, Amorechi, Cooper's Inn. It was 2000 on 2001, and it was Tigrovi, where you were singing.
Did
Cooper's Inn, which
the Hodnik?
the Hodnik, basically, and that was the last youth New Year's Eve that was ever held.
Yeah.
It just went
Yeah.
from the 90s, where you're getting 3,000-4,000 people at the Tottenham Hotel and
Yeah,
Menzies
yeah, yeah.
Tavern at the Rialto, and it sort of just kept dipping, and people got older, got married, started traveling on over those Christmas holidays and going camping and doing whatever. And that Cooper's Inn was the very, very last one.
Wow, I remember that.
And then later,
Then we went to the Metro afterwards.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. And now you got Arborville, fair enough. You got Melbourne Nights, you got all these Arborville happening every year, but that's more for an older demographic. But the last youth New Year's Eve was 2000 on
Well, anyway,
2001.
we're planning on a huge one here in Melbourne, which hasn't happened in Melbourne for a very, very long time, especially not to the degrees that we're sort of expecting it to get to. We've spoken about a lot of people tonight.
Big announcements, Bulge. Big
Well,
announcement.
yeah,
I didn't,
we'll talk about it, but look, there's only one venue really that can fit that many people for any sort of occasion. So we're looking at that for New
and that
Year's
is
Eve.
a particular Renaissance hub.
That's
Let's
been
call
a
it a
huge,
hub
there's
of
been
our
a-
Renaissance. Yeah?
There's been a huge change there in the last 12 to 24 months there. So, if you're planning on doing anything for New Year's Eve, there's a huge one happening
Save the
on the
date.
western side of Melbourne. So save the date.
date.
Save the date. New Year's Eve. I don't know what day it falls on, but I think it's the 31st of December.
DJ Takac. I was at the Tigrovic gig. There you go. You were one of about 150
So was I.
people.
I think it was a little bit more than 150. Might have been.
Mm.
Yeah. Actually,
Because just a week before was QBH. You guys played QBH as well, didn't you?
no, we didn't.
You didn't play QBH.
No, we didn't.
When you
no,
downstairs?
no. I think I played QBH.
Mangler?
Mangler.
I thought it was you guys. There was 3 levels. Was it? Well, I don't even know how big that. I can't remember anything from that.
That thing was huge.
I remember taking an underage cousin to the casino prior, smoking cigars, and then getting him in before 9 because he didn't have license or whatever. Never saw him again. As soon as he walked in, never saw him again. I don't know. Kako je došao kući, ili još živ nije? Mile, javi se. Mile. Oh, sorry, I left you at QBH in 2000 and fucking 2000.
Jesi li živ?
Javi se ako si došao kući. 2026. That's a true story.
So that's a
Smoking
big one.
cigars.
But one thing we haven't even reflected on is, and we have to do it before, we have to do it in this show, is the Christmas show that we did, the 22nd of December, which blew my fucking mind. Like, we're doing a podcast, and there was literally 500 people that came on a Monday night to come to a fucking podcast.
Outside, they set up tables outside. There was people. It was a beautiful night. Weather was fantastic. People, there's a bar on the main pitch serving drinks to people on this side of the fence.
Overspill.
It was ridiculous, yeah. inside kids, flags, banners, colours. We sold 50. We made 50 T-shirts. We sold 46. One still to be paid for, so I'll talk to you tomorrow at training. Or the one that hasn't paid. And 3 we threw into the crowd. Who would have thought? You know, like I was telling people yesterday, we were at Brimbank Stallions before we went to the Dynamo game. I was expecting 80 people upstairs at Dynamo. 80 people, intimate, like fucking Nirvana Unplugged, the first MTV special. You guys up the front, handful of people around, and that a bit more than what we had here that night. Now we had a couple of Kumavi and shit over, and that was it.
Yeah.
Then it got to 120, and then they go, look, that's probably our committee. We need to start stretching this shit out, bring it downstairs. Expressions of interest, over 500 people put down that they might be coming along here. Yeah. Then you're spending money on AV to make sure it sounds all right. Look, in the room, it sounded fantastic. For you guys at home, unfortunately, maybe not.
It really didn't reflect the sound and the vibe that was there.
We'll get there. Thing, we'll learn. We grow.
Look, I think it's just an internet thing. It was an internet speed thing. Things happen, like even those delays, like even we're singing Mako and Matko Jelovic is there, and he's trying to sing along, and he's about 5 seconds behind us. It just going. I
barely drank, but the adrenaline going home. I don't know it was after 1 o'clock or whatever. Like because the police turned up at 10. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the coppers was at 10 o'clock.
Something like that, but we went a little bit past that. Anyway,
but we had some good people in the crowd there amongst us who had a decent conversation with the local constabulary, and they let us go a little bit more, but obviously had to close. Ali, I walked out of there. But I felt on some sort of a high adrenaline rush walking out there going, this is. But the kids, there was, obviously seeing people that I hadn't seen in years turning up there. Yeah, people from high school coming, messaging me, we're going to come. But the amount of kids in the first few rows when you guys were singing Thompson songs and shit like that. My Mali, Anica Kninska Kraljica, I'm looking in the crowd too because we've got the shadow, we've got the lights in our faces and shit. He's on shoulders with Petra. Petra Cholina's on someone's shoulders, and my Mali's on the other. And he's singing every word. And where the fuck did he learn this?
Yeah.
I know he listens to it in the bathroom now. He smashes out Thompson songs and Crow songs, and they're Ali. I'm going, well, it shocked me as a parent, let alone as just a member of the community, to see what was going on. And that was just amazing, man. Well, Dynamo asked, and I caved in at the start. I go, no, we'll do it here again. And then I go, all right, second week, Spolge goes, let's do it at Dynamo. That was one of the best things I've ever been involved in my life. So
it was an incredible night. 3 nights before Christmas, come in Monday night. Like, this is a Monday night, and the place is just full. But when we started singing, and the kids, again, kids, we're talking about kids, different for us, our generation, whatever, like we're living what we've lived through, and we believe in what we believe in. But when our kids do it, and you got like 10-year-olds and whatever singing their hearts out, which there was hundreds of them there, and it was going off, and the sound in that room was fucking amazing. It wasn't conveyed properly over the internet. Sorry to everyone interstate or whoever was listening at home, but anyone that was there that night was absolutely blown away, to the point where, say, George Sabjak from Viesnik or a few presidents of a few soccer clubs, they said this has to be an annual event. This has to happen annually. And it went beyond the podcast. It went beyond the band. It went beyond whatever. It was just something that brought our community together pre-Christmas. It just had this feeling. There was this energy that was incredible. And then, with Matko Jelovic, okay, they brought the level to a next. Then when Thompson came on.
Oh, that was
a massive thank you to Marta Cholina as well, who organised that. And what a gentleman Marty is as well. He was watching it, and he just going like, Thompson's watching. He's going, fuck.
It was a 22-second clip or whatever we ended up getting that we had audio. And that had the 10,000 views on our Instagram page. We've only got 1,900 followers. Or I don't know shit about what translates into what. How many followers you got to? That was our first ever 10,000 view Instagram post. It was a snippet, 30 seconds or whatever it was. Ljudi moji, hvala, vidimo se, nadamo se, whatever. Thompson. And I had people, I had oldies coming up to me. Mi smo čuli da će Thompson biti večeras on the show. And this and that. I go, look, I can't promise anything coppers are at the door at 10 o'clock. Marta's at his house. It's 10:15. I'm going, fuck, and I'm messaging Marta. I'm going, mate, if you can get him on now, get him on. Copper's going to shut the joint down. And he got him on. Kako, Nezan Sam. And, that was massive. But Matko Jelovic, apparently, he teared up.
Yeah, he did.
He teared up in that clip, if you want to go
did.
back and watch it, if it's clear enough. It's, a bloke that's been in the Crow music scene for 40, 50 years. He's done it all. He's had hits. He's fucking won awards. Put up a photo today of some bloke, some producer that passed away. I can't remember. To come onto our little humble show on a Monday night in St. Albans.
And that's what moved him.
Where 500, 400, whatever estimation, some guy, there was 800 people there. There's none of our It was about 500 acceptances or whatever that they're going to attend. We gave out raffle tickets at the start. I go, that might give us an indication of how many people turned up. Ali, that's all I thought I was handing out. Proper. Ali, what a night, man. What an absolute. From everywhere there was people. There was the southeast, Geelong.
Yeah, there was. From every part of Melbourne. Yeah.
Dixie was
Victoria.
there. Yeah. Lord Bitzer.
It was
Absolute
incredible.
Lord
But the vibe, and like you said, so Matko Jelovic has been moved with this shit internet that's gone. If he was actually in the room, he would have lost it completely.
Oh my God, we would have. Yeah.
Even and then for me, like, playing so many gigs, doing this, like for me, and even for the boys, like everyone was just like moved by it because I said there was this feeling on that night. Unfortunately, wasn't conveyed properly across technology because you go live and whatever and YouTube and there's all these things that get in the way. But it was incredible. And then when Thompson came on, it brought. Like, and what we talked about when we started this whole podcast as well was bringing Croatia and the diaspora closer together in all parts and wherever Croats live. And it sort of, that was, like you're doing our last show.
The clincher.
That was the last show, like we're doing for that year. It was almost like, here we are. That's where it is. And let's move on because we are together. We are one. We are moving on together as well. And it was, I don't know, like it was emotional. It really was.
The boys from Sydney again, from our end, we couldn't hear too much.
No, we tried, mate, but technology got in the way.
We'll get there. If I'm up there for the Greystanes Open, we'll do a live.
Yeah.
I'll just do an Instagram live like I did last year. I'll just chuck.
And I think it'll go up easier.
Chuck the phone on a tripod in Xvira or Dechki, and you'll get. It'll be a lot better than what it was on the night. But again, oh my God, there's so much to look forward to. 2026. Yes, we are in March. Feels like a new year, but here we go. When people go, when are you coming back? We only started in June or July.
That's right.
Yeah. It's not like we've been going for 5 years or 10 years. Right. We started this thing last year in June. We did 21 episodes. Fantastic. We're hoping to come back earlier than what we did. Then we go, we'll start February, and then we're going to have that break over the Labor Day or whatever. But how things have panned out, we're back now on the 23rd of March. It's been a decent break. It's been a decent break. We needed it. I think you needed it just because what you do. I needed it because I was, for the first time in my life, really doing some manual labour. So I needed the break. Other now, we'll let you know this week.
Things continue, and we really want to make it international as well. We want to bring America closer in, and Canada, and the Croats from all around the world. Because we're all one. It doesn't really matter.
Everyone knows someone.
That's right.
Let us know. If you've got a contact. So today, Miki Cholina sent us Ivan Čurja, Sinovi Herzegovina. They're touring in April. Here's his details. He gave me his WhatsApp and his email. Send me the email, and he goes, he doesn't respond to email the match. Try him on WhatsApp. As soon as I sent the WhatsApp, he rang me within, I reckon, half an hour. Hello. I knew straight away. +387, Bosnia Herzegovina. Hello, kako je? I'm in the backyard. Riješeno, kako, što? I'll send him the link. He's linked in. We tried a couple of times. It worked. And there you go. We spoke to him tonight. We'll see him in another 2 weeks' time. Him and the boys. Again, it just takes one person. Yeah. One person to put you in contact with another person to get things going.
1 degree of separation.
If you know someone that can get us in contact with anybody, it doesn't have to be some superstar. It doesn't be Zvonimir Boban or bloody Andrija Plenković. It can be your local heroes, man, in the cellar. And it's been funny. I haven't mentioned Debelak once this evening.
Oh, Debelak.
Not once. You know why?
Yeah.
Because Debelak have brought shame upon my family.
What happened?
They lost 4-2 at home
to
Garlovats.
Oh.
You know who's from Garlovats? Do you want me to name some names that
Yeah.
come from I can't even go there, man. It's Mark Torkic.
Oh.
I know. Oh, I feel your pain, brother. The Shardis.
Oh.
Who else from Garlovats? Who else have they got from there? There's some chucker ones there. I think there's. Oh God.
He goals. Golovats.
Marinovic, I think maybe there's a few of them, but Garlovats is dead last. They're almost going into administration.
Oh, okay.
They've uncovered bills of worth of 40,000 euros. Apparently, the new committee came in, all good. They start the new season. They uncover all these bills. And they beat us. We're pushing for promotion, and they beat us at home.
Yeah.
Disgraceful.
Yeah,
that doesn't deserve a shot.
No, it doesn't.
Spit it back. Spit it back into your glass.
Okay.
Spit it back in. Oh, catastrophe. Shame on yourself.
Yeah, shame yourself. But anyway, a lot of the good things are going to happen this year. Anyway, there's a lot. We haven't divulged in some of the things that are going to happen this year, but there are some huge things happening for the community. Some big announcements regarding some of the clubs that we've spoken about tonight as well. They're going to be happening later on in the year. And developments for clubs, developments for the community. That's all I'm willing to say at the moment.
That's it. Yes, get out there, get involved. You know, it's not easy. It's not easy taking time out of your week after work and doing whatever else, in parenting and all those sorts of things, and trainings, and depending on whatever age demographic you belong to. Nothing's easy. You can't do what you're doing because someone's driving you there. You got to take yourself there. Petrol's now going up to $2.50, $2.70, fucking $3 or whatever. It's harder to get kids to Falkland. It's harder to drive kids to St. Mary's or drive them out to fucking Nashfield or drive them out to is it Jeps Cross. It's not easy. Yeah. And it never is easy. It won't get any easier. But it's the effort you put in now, you get the reward at the end of the day. Yeah. At the end of the day, you and your family and your children will get the reward by the effort that you put in, just like the effort that our parents put in. They didn't do this. My parents used to drive from fucking Bandura to Sunshine with no ring road through the back streets of fucking Tamaloniki, the Honda factory. I remember driving past that shit. There's those blokes on motorbikes, learners practice and shit. Camp Road.
Kill Park, whatever that is.
Yeah. And they got the results. We now got to do the same. So put in the effort, you get the result, and then your kids will do the same, and we can continue on the trajectory that we are on. Doesn't matter where we're born. You know, I remember a long time ago, a dog can be born in a stable. It doesn't make it a horse. We are what we are. Your genetics do not change no matter what they try and tell you and try and tell our kids in schools. Your genetics don't change. We love this country, ali smo Hrvati. And bit ćemo Hrvati dok se god družimo I budemo sa Hrvatima. Easy as that. And you bring your kids to these places and they'll keep hanging out together and they'll keep being mates and whatever. And we can keep these clubs going. We'll keep our community going. Easy as that. And then one day, we might have another good news story, like the Adrian and Vesna Desha story this week that was in the Viestic.
I didn't see that one.
They've been in Crow now for 4 years.
Yeah,
it was in, maybe it was, not Viestic, sorry, it was a Crow local thing. There was another one recently. Who else was there from Australia? Ivan Jurkic and his family.
I saw that.
In Sveta Nedlja. Another good news story of Aussies
returnees.
Born in Australia.
Yep.
But like you said, or somebody said, we're not even returnees. If our parents go back, they're returnees. We're something else.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, actually,
we're stuck in the middle. Yeah. We're born here. We're not. We're returned.
That's right.
I've got to return to Pascal South if that was the case. Ali, as long as we put in the effort, the rewards will come.
Absolutely.
Easy as that.
But everyone out there, remember this is your program as well. If there's someone you want us to talk to, if there's any topics you want to talk about, please reach out to us. We are more than open to talk to everybody and talk about everything, which many people attest to. We have, open up to everyone. Reach out to us, like if it's Croatian related, if it's for the good of the Croatian community or Croatia itself, please reach out to us. via Instagram or our email page, or whatever. Our email
Personally,
page. Or email, or even speak to us because we're out and about. That's right. Come and talk to us.
And if you don't like it, come on and tell us.
Yeah, if there's something, that we talk about, tell us why you don't like it.
If you've got a different point of view than what we have, we'll send you the link, and you log in, or you send us a statement or whatever you want to do. Yeah. We'll read it out. Tell us why is it that you don't agree with what we're saying.
Yeah.
Well, this ain't the ABC, man.
No.
This is Otwar and Oswima.
We've criticised a few people here even tonight, so no problem. We're open to criticism. We don't know everything.
Jump on board. Give us your point of view. Maybe you'll change my mind.
Exactly right. Exactly.
Maybe
change my mind.
Exactly.
Change my mind.
Ако не, нища. Полюби остави. Shake hands and go separate ways, Ali.
Yeah.
Jump on board if you want. You got something to say. Even if you're not disagreeing or agreeing with it, you got something to say. Jump on board. Send us. We'll send you the link. As long as it's respectful, it's not. But
one thing that hasn't changed from last season to this season, we all need to back each other. If we're for their clubs, then back the club. Let your little, personal differences go. Be a bigger person and do what's for the betterment of our clubs, for our community. Don't fight your own bullshit little battles. Don't let your own ego get in the way of what's best for our community. Don't do it.
Narod comes first.
100%.
Rivalries 100%. Can be settled, should be settled privately.
100%.
They need to be.
Don't
settle it privately. And business as usual.
Not bagging anyone, not pointing fingers at anyone. I'm just saying, let's all work together.
Tony Grugic is giving us a great one there. I think you need to get our first ever Australian Croat to play in England, the great Jakobanovic. Wojala, Croatia now. Played for Melbourne, Croatia, played for Brunswick Juventus, played for Heidelberg, I think. Played for Australia, played for Derby County in the 80s.
Yeah.
In the 80s, when no Aussie had...
That's been prior to Craig Johnson.
That's like... exactly. So Jakobanovic was surfing for England before Craig Johnson was even born.
Yeah, that's right.
Ali.
No, Jakobanovic did it. And he proved himself. He was an absolute superstar.
I've had the privilege of introducing him for the Sabes Hall of Fame in Adelaide at the tournament with his 95-year-old father who was with him. They did an 8-hour round trip from Whyalla back to Adelaide and back. And he's still now currently involved, I think, or was up until recently with Whyalla, Croatia, because he lives over there now as well. Yeah. Again, idol. He was an idol of mine as a kid. Yaka Sports in Footscray. Many of you watching and that know anyone that lives in Footscray, parents, grandparents, very famous sports shop over there in the western suburbs in Footscray. I got my first pair of proper leather Deodora Zico boots, which he brought my Tetak's house because we couldn't get to Footscray. There was no ring road in those days. In Chachara, the afternoon shift at the Chico factory, mixing meat extract into dim sims or whatever it was. Ali, again, they're forgotten people of Australian football.
That's right.
I don't think we've forgotten him as Crows. He's been forgotten by the authorities, by the powers that be in his country. Koji Jakobanovic, Koji Erik Krnčević, Koji Billy Vojtek, Koji Branko Čulna.
That's what
Then when I'm telling these Aussies at work, I go, have you ever heard of Endon Donchevsky? Who? I go, this bloke, when he coached Preston Lions, Preston Macedonia in the NSL, got him to a top 5 finish, and ended up, I think he went back and coached the Masso national team.
Yeah.
And now he's in a nursing home. He lives in Melbourne. Yeah. Ferenc Puskás.
Ferenc
Puskás. The Wikipedia bought that play. I'll spell it for you. I'll type it into your phone. Do you know who this guy is, mate? Mirko Bazic. Yeah. These were doctors of football compared to who we got now. Aurelio Vidmar, Gary Van Egmond. I don't know who the coach is in the A-League are, man. Who's here? Alan Stejcic. Oh, what a superstar. That boy, he should be coaching the Brazil. He should be coaching Brazil. Alan Stejcic.
Actually, going to talk about your first pair of boots, the Diadora. It's actually very apt. Some of our younger viewers wouldn't even know what Diadora fucking stand. What can you tell us a city back in Roman times that was known by Diadora?
I believe Zadar. We want to do shots for Zadar?
We do.
Or just about Zadar as well? Diadora, yes.
Diadora. So
also.
Zadar was known, Iadera and Diadora. Zadar was known by Diadora. So I don't think it's a coincidence that the actual brand was known as Diadora.
True, that's why I wore them, and I wore them with pride until under 16s for Bandura against Sunshine Heights.
It was back when the Serbs owned
Sunshine Heights.
Zadar.
I bought these boots when I was 11, and I was still wearing them under 16s at Bandura. My toes are like this. The man goes, you paid, I think you paid 120 Australian at the time.
You have to wear them for the next 5 years.
I did. And Nekako, by accident, lost them at Sunshine Heights, playing against Shaka, who is now one of the chief amateur development people at Dinamo, and the coaching staff there. You know Shaka?
Yes.
I played against Shaka that day. I left my boots, and my old man Pribia bogged me because I lost $120 boots that he bought for me 5 years ago that was 6 sizes too small. Never problem. Jaka Banovic, definitely. Another one from that era, and very close friends actually at the time, Eddie Krnčić. There is a podcast. That was done only maybe 2 weeks ago. Dennis, I think it's called the Dennis Podcast, where a Crow guy, I think he's in Zagreb, interviews Eddie Krnčić and talking all things about his time at Dinamo, trialling at Hajduk, playing for Australia, etc. And I'll tell you what, Eddie's Crow, for being now, what is he, 60, just maybe turned 65? Played in, where was he at Dinamo? 1982. That's good 44 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
His Crow is still pretty damn good. Yeah. So born in Geelong, played at Dinamo Zagreb, 82, 83, 81, whatever it was. Moved to Belgium, done most of his great work in Belgium and that. But his Crow is pretty damn good for this interview. I reckon this bloke was thinking he's going to get, some yadnik that doesn't know shit. My parents were pretty wrapped. My man was wrapped with his vocabulary.
Well, he did the
because I think he threw in a Richie Plesko and a Josip Piškić.
he did the community proud.
Who's
this is a joke. This is a joke.
Who just sent you a Stippa message?
That is George Sabljak, who is the editor-in-chief of the Hrvatski Vjesnik. He wants us to say a joke before we sign off.
It's late enough. We're allowed to.
It is. Yeah, okay, we can do that one. He goes, well, look, Chuck Norris. We never thought that he would pass before the rest of us.
No.
So
never
God rest his soul, Chuck Norris. But apparently, Chuck Norris, njegova tetka je rodila.
Njegova ga tetka rodila.
Tetka je rodila.
Ne mate, tetka.
Ne, tetka. You know why? Nikomu nije smio jebat mate. That's why.
George Sabljak, you've done it again.
I tried to do it with a straight face, but I couldn't. But good joke. Thank you, George. So that was actually very, very good.
That's why you need to buy a subscription to Vjesnik, just for the jokes. It's got a funny pages in the back of the Vjesnik. They should have the funny pages where you maybe wrap it in plastic so it's 18 plus.
Oh, yes.
The funny pages. Kaj što smo imali prije, the truth.
Yeah. I know when my Corvi to Food Plus. Yeah, Food Plus, remember the Food Plus?
Yeah.
I was like 7-Eleven. And we were like 10, 11 years old. We can talk about this sort of stuff now. It's 11 o'clock. So I was like 10, 11 years old, and we're like there. We want to see nudies, we were hitting, we didn't have like internet back then, so you just wanted to see what it was all about. So we go to Food Plus, and then he goes, no, we're going to get a Playboy or whatever it was, like what was the other one? Penthouse.
Penthouse, yes.
Hustler. Well, Hustler was.
I've only heard about these things from other people.
I'm letting you know anyway. So we go into the Food Plus, and anyway, he goes, no worries, we're going to get it. Okay, how are we going to get it? We're like 11 years old. I've got fucking 50 cents. Like, don't worry. Just don't worry. Just go here. And I'll go, and it was like, Kumovi there. He goes, here, buy the newspaper. He gives me Herald Sun. He goes, don't fold it. I go, okay. So I just put it there, the Herald Sun, or whatever it was back then. It was like fucking 50 cents. Paid for it, come back there. He's put a fucking Penthouse or a Playboy inside the thing. He's hidden it. So that was where our education lied, and that's why we've gone as far as we have come.
Look at us now.
Yes. Fucking flying.
Did you see that guy during the week apparently I read it, someone sent me an article, he got a $6 million payout for COVID injuries. He got that Barre syndrome, whatever it's called.
there's no bullshit. He goes, his thumb started shaking or some shit. $6 million he got from the fucking Victorian government because he used the Pfizer, not the AstraZeneca. I need to pitch him.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Fuck it, I've been working around work all week. Fucking both hands. I go, fuck it, there's 12 million bucks right there. No bullshit. He goes, really? Fucking rookavos a trese. I go, fuck. I woke up this morning. Meni se glava I sve trese.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's AstraZeneca or if that's the Great Northern that Barrow was shouting. Maybe it could have been.
You can sue Ilya Dragicevic.
True story. Maybe Mickey C. Tsura was there till the end as well. Good old everyone
Really?
in Western Australia knows Tsura. He stuck it out, man. I think it was his 52nd birthday this week. So happy birthday to Tsura.
Yeah, actually, Western Australia's been very quiet tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, I've never been reading. Probably been going flat stick.
You've changed Western Australia, man. You've changed. Even my daughter didn't know that we were going live tonight. I go, aren't you on Instagram? These peasants these days, they're still on Facebook.
Yeah, right. The news will travel.
Exactly.
But
you've got Easter coming up now, then you've got Anzac Day coming up, and then my posse Toga Malo, the King's birthday. Now we've got a fair bit between now and then, ali dogovorčimo se, ljudi smo.
Yes, really. But honestly, if you've got anyone you want us to talk to, anyone you want us to interview, any topics you want us to talk about, please reach out. We're more than willing to talk about it. Again, if you want to prove us wrong with anything that we talk about, please feel free, because we know nothing.
Change my mind.
Change my mind. We work underground, so we're just here to join ourselves. That's all. You know?
And if it's politics, if it's even Australian politics,
100%.
if you know someone, the
100%.
local Labor, Liberal, One Nation, Greens, Independents, get them on. Tell me why you want us to support you.
Yep.
Whether it's in local government, state government, federal government, doesn't matter, man. Maria Kovacic, anyone's got any contact with her, and she's happy to come on and she's not too offended maybe intimidated if some of the things in the background here may impact her public duties, I guess, because there's nothing here really controversial. I've got some stuff over there.
It's a new one. What's this one?
That's Sukoshan. That's a Nadbiskupska Palača. You've got a Sokol here, Sivi Sokol, Peregrine Falcon. You got Sveti Križ from
the Gate of Zadar.
The Gate of Zadar. You got is that Dana White? But looks like me. Looks like me. Crna Vrana here. Black Crow. Whatever you want to call it. Black Crow Investments.
Yes.
Time for some sponsorship.
Thank you, Black Crow Investments.
I seen him on Saturday. Even
he's doing 35,000 steps a day.
35,000 steps?
Oh no, he steps a lot.
There you go. That's a subliminal sponsorship there for Black Crow Investments. Yeah. But I thought, Vrane Shishmishi Letel, and I couldn't find a rat or a bat.
No.
There is nothing here in the background that could possibly be interpreted as something.
Where's this come from?
That is even though I haven't even peeled the plastic off. There is still a plastic lining on the front, but that is that's my platinum record.
Yeah, you can take it off. No, you can see it.
Yeah. That's a double platinum record that Nede said.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Written and produced and sung by Spolger Small. There you go. That's
that
got sent to us by the Arias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just owe them $5,000 for sending that.
That's right. Okay. Sweetly fair, but there is absolutely nothing controversial unless Pope John Paul is a controversial figure in the 20th century. I don't know. These stamps behind you, maybe, but you can't even see them. You cannot make out what those stamps are.
Bro, you got that now. That's a new one. So that was a gift.
That was a gift.
First season from George Savljak.
Framed that one.
Framed that Hrvatski vjesnik.
Pršut.
That's plastic.
Grože, patka from the Hrvatski lovci. You know, tambure, gusle, what else could you ask? If we can make the screen wider, that golden stick you can see, where is it? Just behind Spolge? Or the gold-looking stick. That is a papal staff from Timu. So that is a papal staff. If you ever to watch the Pope walk down the steps of the Vatican, he'd be carrying one of those, but made out of alloy, whatever it is these days.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining in tonight. We really appreciated you coming in. apologies for all of the technical difficulties that we had at the start of the program, but that was probably always going to be on the cards. Join us next week. I'm not sure if it's going to be a Sunday, Monday, whatever. Just keep look out on social media, whether
Exactly
it's
right.
on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. We'll announce it because I think it's going to be changing week in, week out due just to work and life commitments. But
And PBA conditions.
but please, again, feel free to reach out. We're not that precious. If we said something that might offend you, please let us know. If you want us to talk about something, please let us know. If you got someone you want us to talk to, please let us know. Enlighten us. We're just two people. Again, we're just part of the community. We're here to help you and voice your thoughts as well. So yeah, reach out. Once again, a huge thank you to you all for all of your support last year and this year, hopefully. Follow on up here. And I think that it could be a huge year. I don't know. People are envisaging all sorts of wonderful things that are going to be happening.
The only way is up, man.
The only way is up.
Mene, ljudi moji, like Spalč said, mene nije tetka rodila. Možeš ti meni jebat mater sutra. Ask for the link and I'll send it to you. Spalč will send it to you. We're here.
Yeah.
We're listening. We're open. Slobodno dođite. Javite se. If you want to come in, come in. If you want to do it online, do it online. If you want to send a statement, send a statement. We're here. We're here to listen. We're here to talk. Here we go. We've been talking for 4 hours now.
Have we?
Skoro. 20 past 11. I was supposed to pick up Marco from Woolies at 10 o'clock. He's finished his shift. So, evo prdnja sam. Čak sam, evo sad sam I prdnija jebote. It's been that long. I couldn't hold it in no more. A jebi ga, čovjek je prdeknija I... And not even asking to pull my finger jebate.
Okay. So,
Ljudi moji, laku
thank
noć.
you for joining in for our last show. And
I've just done an Albanese at the mosque.
yeah,
Richie Plesha, Ante Stipic, Ivan Čuže from Sinovi Herzegovina.
Yes.
Get out, support, get to the concerts.
yeah. Go support Chewy.
That's right. Or we'll give him some other nickname. Bluey, Knackers, whatever.
Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thanks for all your comments. We didn't get to them because nismo normalni. But
Fallible.
yeah, and
The B mugs we'll bring out next week.
we have no
Finca.
idea who we're going to talk to next week because we had no idea who we were going to talk to tonight, yesterday, even this morning.
And Sutra, we still won't know who we spoke to tonight.
Yeah.
Nema veze.
Ali, yeah, follow thanks for tuning in. Again, reach out, please. We implore you to reach out, please. We're here for you. We're here to service you.
We love you.
So that's out right.
Laku noć, ljudi.
Thank you. Laku noć.
With the outro still spots, I think we do.
We got the Vukovar song, the Evil Wonder.
I don't have the Vukovar song for
Yes.
evil.
Maybe next week.
Satavana iz Podruma Neraki ja me opila Boli glava Areja pogledaj karapege zanimljive veseli se baja on viče daj mi viče He was the king of the divan je very dobar song I am the king of the divan Satavana iz Podruma Jer